last week he canceled because of the game.
Right. No, there was a time that we like ended the podcast early, or you almost ended
something
it.
like that.
Yeah, it was with
It was one of the final games.
mhm.
Oh yeah,
the
remember?
playoffs.
Because he's like, we won,
Right.
and then they lost, and they had to play another game, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Against the
Take it
Heat?
serious, bro.
Against the Heat last year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was during the
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least you
During
guys
the
won
finals.
last year. I mean, you guys still the champions technically. So
Exactly.
I know. Till the next person wins.
till the next.
Are you a baseball fan?
Nah, I used to be when I was younger. I was more into baseball. Like I used to watch and play the MLB, the show, and all that, like on
Okay.
PS2. But
Oh, okay.
like as I got older, I stopped watching and
What about soccer?
yeah, soccer. I do.
What fan are you?
Well, I like Mexico national team, but I don't want to talk about that right now.
Bunch of sour,
What about like European teams?
sour topics
I like Real
tonight.
Madrid,
Okay.
and then I used to Morelia, but they fucking politics shit.
All right.
They got delegated, or they sold the team and they just moved cities like with the no warning, bro. Like that shit was
Right.
so stupid.
Right.
But whatever.
I'm a United fan.
Money talks.
I like Real Madrid though. I'm a Cristiano fan. That's why.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
Big
so,
Cristiano fan of the
Fuck
GOAT.
yeah, fuck yeah, I know. I respect Messi. I can't hate on him, but
Mhm.
there was a minute where I was like, nah, it's all about CR7. It maybe because of the stigma of like, because I'm Colombian and like Argentinians, Colombians were always like fucking clashing.
Hating Argentina.
You know.
I hate Argentina.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say it, but okay, you said it. You said it. But yeah, I got a couple Argentines. Shout out Marcel. He's one of my real ones. One of my real Argentinians. One of the few ones I love. For real, right?
I love this table, man.
For real.
It's from World Market, bro. I was
World
gonna
Market is
make
fire.
my own table, but we're like, nah, just get a World Market.
Yeah, World Market. They always got some good hidden.
You just stumbled upon it there, or somebody?
Oh,
told you?
my wife got it, so
Okay.
she's like this table, and then when I went to see it, she showed me the pictures. And I'm like, I love this. It's like resin. Have you seen those videos on YouTube where people make these? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
so it's like resin or some shit. Like I don't even know what the hell resin is, but that's what it is.
It's like that epoxy stuff, right? They, like,
Yeah.
pour it in there.
They pour it like in layers because if you do it all at once, like it creates bubbles. You got to do
Let's-
like one layer, let it sit, then another layer. I don't know.
Let me ask you: Are we already started already?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Tight.
Okay. Let me ask you: Do you get people to question like what OC stands for your OC tile?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's Orange County.
Right, and I thought that too, right?
Everybody thinks that, but it's a good marketing scheme
Exactly.
because people are moving here from Orange County and they see that Orange County, and then they think it's a big company. They think it's like a more established brand.
And then they see you walking in. They're
Yeah.
like, oh.
Fuck this spice up.
But what does it stand for? Tell us.
So OC is Octavio Chavez.
Uh-huh.
That's the name of my dad
Right.
and the name of my brother. So the company's under my brother's name, Octavio Chavez. So for the official LLC is like Octavio Chavez, Granite, Tile, and Marble. So it's like to market that, bro. It's like, it's a big old name.
Big acronym,
So
yeah.
I was like, we need a logo. I was thinking of we need a logo. So I was like, let me put OC. First it was OC, Tile, and Marble. But I was like, Tile and Marble, if you do tile, you kind of do marble. So I was like, Granite and Tile because we also do granite. So just like people need to know what you do based on your name is kind of something I heard somewhere, like you don't want to confuse people. What is that? Granite and Tile, OC, just get some.
You know what is cool is that like us as Mexicans, we make our business names so long, just like we give our kids like 3 middle names and the last name and the mom's last name. And
Yeah.
that's why you shorten it, huh?
Yeah,
OC.
showing it for marketing. So
Right, right.
officially we're still the other one.
I just thought you guys were an extension from like an Orange County company. That's initially when I saw it. I was like, dang, these schools are expanding.
Yeah, no, we do a lot of work in Orange County though. So because so we do a lot of like remodels and side projects, but for the most part we subcontract for bigger companies. So we've done like some big projects, but we can't afford to take on those projects all at once because it's like you don't get paid like 6 months down the road, or you got to buy all the materials. Like it's a lot of money. So those big companies, they subcontract and then they like we get the job like second, like that. So for the longest time we only did commercial work, just commercial work, new homes, mostly in Irvine, Anaheim, Temecula, all kinds of places. And here in the Valley, we work for another company that also gives a lot of work. So commercial. And then in 2019, I was like, we're never doing residential. It's like we're missing so much on like just the whole residential market, like remodeling homes here, especially here because there's a lot of people with money. So I started doing that more because my brother didn't want to do it. So I'll do it. You know, I'll talk to the homeowners and deal with all that stuff. And it's a little difficult because some of the homeowners don't know, you know, like they don't know about construction, so they don't know the process, and then it's more headaches. But it's definitely worth it, you know, trying to expand.
That's cool, man. How was that casino project that you guys were doing? Did you guys finish that?
Yeah, we came in like in September, late August. So we worked at the new Agua Caliente Casino, the new one in Cat City.
You guys did that?
We did like, I want to say like 80% of the tile in there. We didn't do the bathrooms, but all the murals, the dance floor, the cafe, like everything else we did. The kitchen, saw the kitchen flooring.
Oh.
This guy's a
Yeah.
hustler, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I keep up with your stuff, and it's an inspiration because you do all that. You're 9 to 5, and then you get to play in here. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, like I leave the house like 6:30, whatever, and I don't get home till like 9-10 p.m. because I decide to take my time and come here. You know, like making videos, podcasts, whatever I can, just because it was always been a passion. You know, I started YouTube since it's 2007, but 2015 is when I was like, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos, and then I didn't know what I was doing now. And then you start with the phone, you start learning about editing and buying the first computer, first camera, and then eventually you spend too much money on equipment, as you see.
No, it's good. You got a nice
Yeah.
place here. Thank you for bringing us in.
Yeah, bro. No, thank you. I always like it when there's other people doing content, bro. Like, there's still not enough. Like, since I think I told you guys last time, like, I want to see more people make content.
Right.
And since last time we spoke, like, you still don't see that many people. It's here.
I think a lot of the time people think that spending their time and exposing themselves is kind of like a waste of time.
Mhm.
But this is freaking natural. Like, this is really needed. Interpersonal relationships and communication and face-to-face communication.
Mhm.
But
It's big.
and it's cool because you get to put it out for other people to see, like, oh, like I have the same commonalities than they do, and they're cool, and so I can do that with my friends, you know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people just learn a lot about us too. I mean, a lot of our friends, I feel, or even just about you guys. Sometimes watching some stuff about you guys, I'm like, fucking known them since like fucking middle school, you know. So yeah, these conversations are definitely always needed, especially the before and after too. I don't think it's talked about enough too. Like when we sit down for podcasts, like always after that conversation is we always want to like, this was always like, fuck, we should have recorded that, you know. But those are sometimes those conversations are like priceless, bro, priceless, you know. So
The after ones.
yeah,
You guys got
those
this,
after ones. Yeah.
Me too, bro. Like, we finish recording, we stay for another 30 minutes hanging out, talking about some cool shit. I'm like, damn, we should have just stayed on the podcast. It happens all the time.
I just spoke with a therapist, and she's really cool people. And right after we finished, the 30 minutes that we talked was like my mouth was dropped. But I mean, it gives me a reason to go back and record with her again. So I mean, you don't do it just to do it once. You just try to do it as many times as we can.
Look at us here.
Yeah.
We're here again, a year later.
And look at Luis is in here
Back in
like a
action.
nice, like a fly in the wall.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, dude, where'd you get that ramen shirt at?
I got this online, bro.
That's fresh.
Goat Crew.
Okay.
How to get it?
Fresh.
Retro vintage.
It's funny though that you're
the
a big
vintage
liquor
stuff.
fan.
A lot of people are getting those vintage shirts.
You've
That's
been
back.
collaborating
It's
with a lot of
back.
people out here in the desert, huh?
Yeah, just for mostly podcasts.
You've been doing the like a lot of content for them, though, right?
Yeah,
like,
a lot of
Like Mills?
locals.
Mills is dope. I heard of him through him, and well, obviously you,
Yeah,
because of you. But yeah, he's dope.
yeah. Like I said, is I want to help people. You know, like whatever I can, and
Yeah.
just because I know there's talent here, and it just needs. Some people just need to have the opportunity, and this is one of the things I wanted to do with this podcast center. Like, I haven't really announced it. I haven't promoted it as like what I want to do, but I want to provide this space for the people to come record their podcasts. That it's hard. Imagine when you guys started, you guys had to like get the mics and learn about this. I know you helped out because you're a DJ, but for most people, it's like, where do I even begin? You know, like, do I do video? Do I do audio? What kind of camera? What kind of mic? So I have this studio here. Then somebody with a good idea come record once a week, do their podcast. You know, that's kind of like one of the goals for this space.
That's good, man. And there isn't any of that around here.
Yeah.
And I know when us three started, that was like exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like a setup like this, the table, the wall and stuff. Like, that's only like we see it on YouTube only.
Yeah, LA
And
and
it would
Orange.
be like
Right.
ideas, like that's the goal, right? That's awesome that you have that plan for these up and comers.
this is a cool mural
I was
too.
looking at that too. Who did
Oh,
that?
This artist her name's Luna.
is she a local artist?
Yeah, this is actually her first official mural that she's ever
Oh,
done.
nice.
Oh,
Nice.
shout out.
It was
Luna.
she's a friend of my wife's. They've been friends since like middle school, whatever. And she's always like super artistic, but she's never really had like, I don't know if the courage, or she never really like put herself out there. So she's like, let's do a mural, and I was like, yeah, hit up your friend, just tell her I want something that's like desert theme, tell her whatever colors, just make whatever she wants, and she
went
made
crazy,
this.
man.
That's
First,
really cool that you didn't put limitations.
I
there.
didn't. I just
Yeah.
told her make a desert theme, whatever colors and whatever you want. She started. There was like 2 eyes. Like there was an eye here and eye here, and then she didn't like it, and then she ended up coming up with this. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Has
this
she
is-
done anything since this one?
I don't know, to be honest. I think she's done some other stuff, but I haven't really kept up. I'll put her name's Luna Visuals, I think, on Instagram or something.
So you went to CV, right?
No, I
Or
went to
India?
India. I went to India.
So you have what? The Mirage stuff is always like an inspiration out here, right?
Mhm.
We're always kind of inspired by like a lion at where we're at,
Right,
like
right.
that lion pride.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about like growing up out here in Indio, Coachella area. Like, what's up? Like, what did you guys do out here? Like,
Yeah,
do we
yeah,
do?
because it's different from like our
Yeah.
end. Like,
Play marbles and Yu-Gi-Oh and Tazos, bro.
Nah, but I mean, like growing up as a teenager, like your new cast member, Brian, he grew up out here, just graduated high school, and
Yeah.
so like, I mean, what do you do straight out of high school? You just go to work?
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't speak for everyone else. I was already working since I was like 11 with the towel company. So
Oh shit.
Dang,
weekends,
Child labor laws, man.
hell yeah.
I don't think it applies
Weekends,
to
summer,
parents.
I was always working, helping them out. You know, like Mexican parents, they take you to work and shit. So
Oh, yeah,
I was
damn
working,
right.
and then I was playing high school football. So it was either school, and then it's funny because I used to live I want to say like 20 minutes away from Indio High School. I lived actually 10 minutes from CB High School, but I drove 20 minutes to go to Indio, which is kind of, I don't know why, but my sister graduated from Indio, and I just wanted to go to Indio since I was a kid. So my parents couldn't pick me up until after school, after like 5 p.m. after I get out of work. So I either had to stay at the school during like football practice or go play basketball. So always going to the rec center, local rec center or the Indio Teen Center, and just hang out there. So I don't know, always like, I really enjoy my time in high school. It's actually my 10-year anniversary just happened since
Oh, man.
graduation, like the last week too. So
10
fucking
years.
time flies, bro.
That means you
2011.
graduated. Dang.
Class of 2011. Shout out class
we're
2011.
old as fuck. I'm old. We're 07,
Yo,
bro.
you were old.
You're old.
Indio Swapmeet. Was that something that you guys did often or
Was that
not?
the-
Yeah,
kick
no,
it.
yeah, all
Yeah.
the time on Wednesdays. So Wednesday and Saturdays, and that's kind of like been dying though. Like I remember it's like a whole parking lot,
Uh huh.
and then it used to be packed, bro. And now it's like half, maybe the third of all the stands now.
Really?
You
Is
think
that
because
'cause
of the
of
COVID or what?
It was happening before COVID, so I'm thinking a lot of it has to do with like Amazon. A lot of the stuff you used to buy at the Swami shit you could get on Amazon now. Like people go get the cheap stuff, or you needed something, you go there. But now it's like Amazon.
Click away.
Or maybe if you're just staying home and just buying on, I don't know, playing video games and kids don't want to go out. I don't know what it is.
Tell us about the growth right here, just in downtown Indio, dude. All the development going on right here.
Yeah, so here's where we're located is the India Food Park, and it's still starting. Like they have big plans, the city, but you know how the cities work. They take forever. They can decades to build shit. So
Mhm.
They've got the plans though. They
right
look
here in the
pretty
India
cool.
Food Park, this happened not because of the city, but the dude Eric, he's actually right here working outside. I'll introduce you guys to him. He's super dope. You guys know him?
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah, we met Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met
Yeah,
Eric
so
before.
he came up with this plan. He did the food trucks over there in Coachella, and he did it all 2019. And that's where I built a relationship with him because I made a vlog at his event, and I literally went with the intentions like, oh, let's go vlog and show what the event's about. You know, we
Yeah.
recorded the food, recorded the vendors, interviewed him a little bit. Then I made a YouTube video like kind of showing the whole event. And then when he was pitching the food truck park event to other cities like Palm Springs City Council, he was showing my YouTube video, bro. Like
Oh,
he was
that's
showing my
Ah.
video like, oh, this is what I'm trying to do and bring to your city. So he ended up doing it in Palm Springs, I think the one in DHS, and kind of expanding all over the valley. And then this was his plan. Like I want to have a place where the food trucks come every weekend. It's kind of like an indoor Swami type thing. So in here, there's a lot of vendors right now. They're remodeling. That's why it was a bunch of booths and stuff, but they have a bunch of vendors. So there's like people that sell shirts, people that do events and parties, people that have like local growers and stuff. And it's like all these small businesses in one place. And then outside, there's pop-up vendors, there's paletero, raspado guys, there's food
That's
trucks.
cool.
So on the weekend, people could come out here and it's like a whole community event, you know. It's
Right.
and then like local musicians produce. So that's all Eric's like vision. And then because I built a relationship with him through those like events, and that's one cool thing. I had him on the podcast too. So when we go back to talking about like podcasting and the relationships we built, like that's the number one thing I've taken from this, like
Mhm.
the conversations. You never have a conversation with somebody without like being on the phone
right.
longer than like 10 minutes, you know, like you just talk to
Yeah.
somebody and that's it. But the podcast, like there's a connection. That's what,
Yeah, that's good. And like you mentioned, a phone call, that's kind of where we're looking to take, Selected Series next, bringing out more content, quicker for everybody. And with that comes like the IG Live idea, just to reach out to our past guests or maybe even new guests and just to see what they're up to, just to check up. And if they have an event going on, our plan is to like go live with them, right? Promote it and see what it's all about. So that's kind of what we're trying to take Selected series, going live and in the moment.
A quicker way to, they don't have an excuse to go to like another platform. It's like it's here right now. You could watch it here. You know,
yeah, because it's live and it's more interactive too. You get comments from people watching.
Exactly. That's kind of
answering
what we
their questions and stuff.
Yeah, like it's like if we were going live now, right? We'd have the people watching and they'd be able to ask their question, have any comments or anything. That's kind of where we're looking to take it. Not going away from recording a podcast, but just kind of on the fly, quicker, more content,
more interactive with the audience,
more interactive.
Getting them excited.
Like you called it like a phone call, and that's kind of how I picture it. Like, let's just drop in real quick, right, and see what's this person.
How was like 2020 with you guys in your podcast? How was that? Like
we kept going.
2020, crazy, man. Yeah, I'll speak on that because
Put your mic a little closer.
Oh, you can't really hear me?
No,
my bad.
You fade in and out.
Let me scoot up. Yeah, no, I just gotta thank these guys, man, because they put the podcast on their back, and I kind of stepped back, and you know, I'm kind of glad that year, you know, not everything was okay for that stretch, you know what I mean? And I was kind of all right with that because it gave me the opportunity to kind of step back and to just kind of, I was able to think about like how to innovate in the podcast, right? Or it just gave me ideas on how we can proceed and grow and just do different things. So they kept going with it. They did 4 episodes. David even started his Seed Planner podcast where he did like a bunch of episodes on that one too. I just joined them again recently. So yeah, man, we're on this mission to just, these guys never stop going, and I'm just looking to hop back on and just keep it growing.
Nah, bro, you jumped in that fucking new episode like nothing, bro. Like you had never left, dude.
Hey, I'm telling you, I needed that, man. Because when I came back and we did that live with Provoked and Flat Black, I was like, all right, like, it never even went away.
Feel when they were doing episodes and you weren't around, like did that?
It was good, dude. Like these guys, like, because we tell all our guests, like everybody that's looking to start, you know, a business or an entrepreneur, we talk about those roadblocks, right? And it's easy to say, oh, just get those roadblocks out of your head, right? And then like even us, like I went through that. I went through the roadblocks and I had to step back and just kind of like remember that excitement I had for it and think about like that first time where, you know, my advice is to like take notes. Like if you got this idea, if you're trying to start this business venture, whatever it is, write it down, take notes. That way you can go back, and that's what helped me. I went back to my notes and I saw stuff that I noted down that like people still out here aren't even doing yet. And I'm like, man, like it just gets me pumped, right? I'm like, let's keep going. I still have this idea, that idea. So that's my advice for anybody that kind of hits that roadblock or gets in a rut. From the beginning, write stuff down, and that way you'll remember why you started it in the first place.
And it's all in due diligence, bro. Like there's certain things that you can't, like as a plan. That's why I started my Seed Planner podcast. Because you put things into perspective. You first have to plant something, the idea. Write down your idea, put it in the ground, so to say, or put it out in the world. And then you check back into it, or you give it more life, you give it more sunlight, more exposure, right? And then you continue to constantly check up on it. But if it doesn't continue to, like, you can't get fruit from it. And sometimes it takes time for the roots to take into effect, to get strong.
Right.
And Luis had to go through certain growth. Rene last year was tough, and I could sometimes barely get him out of bed because he just was not even. He was checked out, certain things, myself included. People don't know that because we're only showing what we're showing. But I give mad props to Luis. He's always been a great role model for me. He's younger than me, but he's way ahead of his time. Like he's very innovative. And likewise with Rene, I always lean on them for acknowledgement, advice, and inspiration. I wouldn't be able to do this without these guys, and that's just me saying my piece, you know, my 2 cents.
That's why this is unstoppable. And like the way it started was 3 creatives. That's how it started. 3 creatives that needed
an outlet.
Yeah, exactly, an outlet, somewhere to let out like what we were thinking, and then not only that, but the opportunity to bring others to talk to us about, you know, where they're at with their ideas and
you
how
guys
they're looking
executed though, because there's a lot of people that want to do it and they for some reason they just don't do it. And it's I know so many people are like, oh, the conversations I have with me and my friends, like we should do a podcast and this, that'll be super dope, and they never do it. Or I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to be an influencer here, and people just don't execute. And you guys took that step, you know, you're like, and you guys took the step. One thing I do like about you guys, that you guys came out of the gate like really professional. You guys
appreciate that, man.
Microphones, like
it wasn't
branding,
just that though. It didn't come off the back. I would have to say that Luis held the reins for a minute, and he's like wouldn't let us go. But it was because things weren't correct.
Right.
My objective was to fucking spark the match or the fuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this fool was like, nah, like fucking stop, like chill, like wait. Yeah. And I learned that you can't just do things on the fly because of shit. You have to write things down. You have to have a plan. You have to have a sense of execution. You can't just be a mess and expect things to go your way. So then you have Rene, where but he's very passive. He's very like, but then he'll speak up whenever he needs to speak up. Yeah. And we respect that because he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's like, oh, okay. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, sure. I guess I'm the gas, but this fool's the driver. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Rene is like his co-pilot. You know, like he's that third vote that kind of makes things happen. Me and Luis kind of bump heads sometimes because we're both pretty creative and we're both pretty like in charge. But I've learned to be like, yeah, sure, bro. I'll sit in the back seat. Like when he came back and he had this idea, I'm like pretty hesitant about it. And then we did it, and I was like, dude, I felt a rush like we did when we did our first episode.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because it's 2 years later. I'm like, oh shit, like, yeah, we need to keep growing.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He said, in order for us to continue to stay relevant, we have to grow with the times. We have to grow with the media. We have to grow with the environment. You can't just stay stagnant. And sure, you can expand with different networks and stuff, but the people that you meet have to constantly help you grow. So like it's perfect timing for us to be here with you because I feel like you're leveling up us because of your professionalism, your studio, your audience. Like, thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Sir.
Yeah.
No, we've seen your growth too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I had a pretty stagnant 2020. Like it just kind of, that's creative wise, you know, like it was just I don't know why, but the whole year when everything was happening, you know, the end of the world was happening. We didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I just felt there was just like a bad feeling. Like, I don't want to make content. Like, why would people care about watching my shit when the world's going to shit? You know, like every week I was like, this is happening and this is happening and this is compounding. And it's like, I would make a video and I would just feel shitty. Like, no one cares, bro. Like, why am I making a video about fucking Coachella?
I feel you on
this?
that.
And I just
feel you on that.
I couldn't, I was in a rut like all last year.
Our thing at the time was promoting businesses, right? And I felt bad. Like all these small businesses were closing up, dude. So that was where I got stuck. But I think out of that came like David's idea of starting Seed Planner, where it's not necessarily about somebody that's starting a business. It's somebody, you know, who has a story to tell and who has to shine a light on, you know, an issue or just motivate people. So his approach on Seed Planner is different than like promoting business owners, really. But yeah, I hear you on that. And so we're here now. So how long after 2020 did it take you to switch up and creatively come back?
Because most of my content was, I was doing podcasts with people. Like I would like meet up with people. I didn't have a studio, so it was like on the fly. Take my equipment, like you guys bringing your equipment with you. And sometimes I would record like in terrible audio locations outside.
You were doing Zoom too, right? You were doing like
I was doing Zoom. Yeah. Not as many Zoom because it was right before. I'm talking about right before COVID. So it was like in-person podcast. And
got you.
So because 2019, remember, I don't know if you remember, I told you like I made probably like 50 videos prior to Coachella 2019. So I was like 2020, I'm doing even more videos. I'm gonna fucking get a shitload of views. Like I'm just gonna like go hard as hell. And then everything got shut down. So all the work that I did like the 7 months prior to Coachella, like in March, everything got canceled. So all those videos and all the time I put in
just fizzled out.
Yeah. Like a month right before it was gonna be like the prime, you know. So that kind of like I was like, oh, what do I do now? So then I try to like make I follow this YouTuber Philip DeFranco. I don't know if you guys have seen his
I've heard
videos.
of him.
Like he does like daily news, like So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do something like that since it's like literally people are just stuck at home trying to find the latest news. So I did that for about a month or 2 months, but it was just, I don't know. I just didn't feel right.
Feel it.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I just didn't stay consistent with it, but also I didn't feel right. And then summer, I feel like after that I was making a video like once every 2 months or something. I wasn't making anything. I was just kind of like working and just being at home trying to figure out what was going on. And then I want to say like around June or so, that's when Eric he told me about this place. He's like, oh, I got a spot for you, because I had told him before the COVID, like, oh, I want to open up a studio. I want to have a studio so I could have my setup there, because it's hard to like you set up and then you got to take everything out.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
horrible.
It's so draining. Yeah. It's so draining when it comes to being creative,
especially if you're doing it by yourself. Like I would lean on these guys to set up. I was like, oh, I got to get in my head, and these guys were like,
the whole setup. No, it's the whole. So first you got to set up your cameras, your equipment. You record your video, then you got to edit and do all the post production. So you're investing like so much work that I don't know. I just didn't even have a space. So once Eric told me about this spot, so I don't remember the timeline, but I got this spot. So I was like, okay, let me do the floor. So we did tile on the floor. And then the next thing was we painted the whole thing white. That was the first thing, because it was gray and there was like, it was an empty room. There was a stairs that leads up to the top of here. Mm-hmm. Let's show you some before pictures. And then I was
I'm sorry, Dan. What was the spot before?
So here, it was just a room. This was like one of those Michoacana restaurants, the ones that sell ice cream and all that shit.
Really?
That was maybe like 2-3 years ago.
This whole building?
Yeah, they remodeled the whole building, new kitchen, everything. And I guess because downtown is so dead, it was just like a failure as a business, and they closed. And this building was empty for like almost 2 years, like brand new equipment. No one was even renting it out because there's no foot traffic here. And Eric had the idea, like, if I could make the CV food trucks at a parking lot in Coachella, I could make it here in this building that's ready to go as a business. So he went up to the city, because the city actually owns all these buildings, but no one's ever doing anything, which is kind of stupid too. So he came up with that idea, and then he's like, oh, we like this to be your studio. Because I had told him, I actually looked up a studio right here in Indio. It was a little sketchy area, but it was like affordable. I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna open here. And I had told Eric. So when I told him, he's like, oh, I have a room for you, because it's kind of like a community creative place. So would you be interested in? Also, it was around the same time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it here where there's going to be more foot traffic. I could talk to people outside and stuff. And then since then, I was like, okay, cool. I got to set it up. And then it was a while. It took, like I said, like 9 months to get everything here. So first, I didn't have the microphones or the table. I had to buy the table. So over the next like 9 months, I bought like one mic, 1 month this, and the couch, and then putting the Granite here, and then like all the little things like over the next 9 months. And then around that same time, I was already starting to like do more events towards the end of summer, I guess. Like once you kind of adjusted to a new life, it wasn't mostly like creative work, but it was like getting out there and making videos. That's when I was making videos for Mills, for other artists, maybe like those quinceañera highlight videos, like a lot of those drive-through videos. I got hired to do like 10 of those over
makes
the
money.
What's up, bro?
Because then people adapted. You can't have parties, but you can have those drive-through ones.
For sure.
You know, like beeping and I made a bunch of videos of those. So that kind of got me excited. Like every time I would do one of those events, like, okay, cool, we're doing something. And then towards the end of 2020, that's when I started kind of like getting the studio ready and starting to see what I was gonna do next. So once I had like half the studio open, so it wasn't complete, I started making a few YouTube videos just to kind of test it out, see what I like. And then officially, I think in February, I was doing some podcasts with Mills and my homie Izzy. So we would do live streams. So like I said, right now we could have been live on YouTube, but you lose a little bit of quality. So I kind of like being able to like edit and like post production. So I definitely want to do some live stream, kind of throw it in there. So it was like almost like 9 months to a year process from start to like getting back and creating, just because I had the opportunity to get the studio. So that's
during that time. Were you mentally like, oh, I already want to get it done, or were you just kind of sitting back and just like contemplating like your moves?
I was trying to make it like I just wanted to make sure I had what I wanted, like I took my time with it, because I kind of took most of the year off. So like I said, I was making a video like once a month. So like my whole audience kind of like my channel kind of died a little bit. And even then I was still getting comments from older videos. That's what's cool about YouTube versus other platforms. You post on YouTube, things over time, you still get comments, or things randomly get recommended to other videos depending on like the topic. Right. So there was like, I would make like Coachella news whenever they were like canceling the festival, just trying to keep up with that. And then once a podcast, and I was like, I'm just going to do podcasts. I'm just going to be doing podcasts. I kind of like pivoted to the main focus of the channel was to do podcasts until I got ready. And there was some positive news to see what direction I want to take my YouTube channel, because I want to separate the podcast from my YouTube channel. I have another channel that's like more for the podcast clips, and I've posted some episodes there, but I feel like I just needed to keep my channel alive. So I was like, okay, let me do a podcast just to get something going on the algorithm. And now I'm starting to creating more like short videos, like 3-5 minute videos versus like because people are not going to click, and YouTube is like a whole algorithm, and my whole channel set up for smaller videos. You know, I didn't start as a podcast, so it kind of hurts my channel when I post a video and people aren't clicking on it because it's a long form video. Like no one has the 2 hours to watch it right away.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I got to separate the podcast, which is the plan for the next couple of months, and separate the podcast from the. I'm gonna start creating more content now that things are opening up. So that's like the plan.
Just posting on different.
So yeah, and then another thing I had is like I just gotta post. Like I regretted not posting. Like looking back at 2020, I could have been posting a lot. So I was like, you know what? It's about content. You just gotta post.
Yeah,
you just gotta post. Man. You gotta post. You gotta post.
You can't fall in love with it so much that you can't. You get kind of like the fear of like submitting shit.
Right.
You just gotta put it out. Oh, you brought up Coachella.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna talk about.
I was gonna ask you because you're like you got the ins and outs of Coachella. Do you think the same artists will perform, or is it completely different lineup?
I think a lot of the same artists will, just because they do write contracts, and a lot of those artists that got invited to do Coachella 2020. Coachella is the #1 music festival when it comes to, maybe there's better music festivals or whatever, but as far as like pop culture and like how it affects your career as an artist, Coachella is #1. Like you have performance at Coachella, the influencers come out, you know, all that stuff. Everybody's here, so if they already kind of had a contract or they already signed up, like it's in their best interest to come back. Now the logistics, I don't know, because there's some artists that like some European countries that can't even fly into the US right now. There's still restrictions around the world, like who can fly where. So I don't know how that's gonna affect it all the way till next April. But I think at least like 60% the same. I mean, that's just a random ass stat that I just came up with.
Pulled it out of his head.
How do you feel about it? Did you get your ticket already?
Yeah, I still have. I never got a refund.
Oh,
I kept my Coachella 2020 because I was like, I'm gonna go to Coachella. When it got canceled in April, I was like, I'll go in October, and then it got canceled again. Oh, I'll go next April, and then it got canceled again. I'm like, oh, I'll go next fucking whenever. So,
what weekend?
I got weekend 1. I always prefer weekend 1 just because
he's an influencer.
It's new.
Right. No, do influencers go mostly the first week?
Yeah,
for the
most part. Last time we were talking about this?
Yeah, big time, bro. It's weird.
It's crazy because we haven't had a Coachella since we talked.
I know.
And the funny thing is that we sat down with Giselle. Fun fact. As soon as our episode with Giselle, and I'm gonna be releasing it. Her birthday's coming up, and their album's gonna be dropping. From when we talked, it's crazy. Now, all this stuff is like coming full circle. But next week is her birthday, and she might be releasing her. I'm just giving you guys some inside information. Yeah. Her album might be coming out, so keep in mind. And our episode with Giselle is gonna be dropping. No, it's all edited. It's all ready.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we were talking to Giselle. As soon as our episode was over, she got a text or a call or something. They're like, Coachella's canceled. And we're like, fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why we held on to the episode so long, because it was like, can we even release this? Like, but now it's like relevant again.
On the Reddit forums, she's one of the few artists that's confirmed for 2022.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it says Giselle Woods because
let's go.
So on Reddit, there's always a thread. Like these people like. I don't know how they do it, but they look at all the dates of every artist, like, oh, they have a gap between this, or
when they're touring.
They're like, oh, they're performing in LA in March, so they're out. Like they have like because there's like a Coachella clause where like an artist can't perform within 4 months in the LA, Phoenix, or San Diego area. Because Coachella is so exclusive, like the artist, if he's playing Coachella, he can't play anywhere nearby for like 6 months.
Is there anybody big confirmed?
Not yet. Giselle, just Giselle.
Damn.
Yeah, it's only like 3 artists. She posted on, I guess she posted on Instagram that she's still playing. So
yeah.
Oh,
so she's the only one.
Cool.
There's maybe like 5 artists that are confirmed, and then there's a list of a few that are out based on like some of the tour dates. And then there's even some speculate, because there's always speculation artists that are out based on they have like LA shows like around March 2022 or whatever. So it's still early. Like we don't get the rumors until like November. November is when everything kind of starts brewing. People start leaking shit like November, December, and then the lineup drops in January. So
we're excited for everybody to listen to our episode with her, because dude, it was so good. And we got into her mindset and like all of them, like the band too, about how they felt, how excited they were. about performing at
Performing at
Coachella.
Coachella,
So it's cool. We get into their mindset.
She's
and,
cool. I met her a couple times here at the local events.
Yeah.
Or even making
she's
their
good
album,
people.
they talk about how it's so
Yeah.
much different than actually live performing, because they go through they have to follow that metronome, and so they have to maintain like a certain rhythm, or they have to speed up or whatever.
Right.
They also have to be conscious about like what the song is trying to portray. It's kind of wild. Like it's kind of cool. Stay tuned.
No, but it's kind of crazy too how you were saying how they're right there at the cusp of like performing at Coachella. How you were saying like anybody who performs at Coachella after, it's like that what it's gonna do for your career. So I can't imagine how they feel, and especially as like an artist, a musical artist, like sitting there talking to them, soaking that up, like little do they know their life is going to change after Coachella, you know? So it's so dope to kind of like see that, soak that in, and then I didn't know they were confirmed, but
well, that's what the Reddit forums. I don't know. I didn't see their post, but that's what Reddit said is they're confirmed.
No, that's so
I'm pretty
dope.
sure they are.
Shout
I mean, they're pretty much gonna be there. If they already had like I said, if they already kind of got in the list in the last one, they're gonna be there.
Right.
Unless there's like travel or scheduling issues, because
That's true.
I can't speak for like an artist out of Korea. You know, like traveling out here. You know, it's a worlds away.
It's a
know?
pandemic too.
Yeah,
Still
so
like if
you don't know how's it gonna be with the traveling. It's gotta be more like only like American artists. Like we don't know what's gonna be in 10 months.
Oh, that's true.
That could be crazy. Just all
no
American
international artists.
Damn, that would suck. I don't think so because they opened up the sales internationally. They didn't have any restrictions on the fans.
Because they're gonna be flying to come in. So.
Yeah, all the fans are coming from Europe and shit, so they didn't restrict any like tickets.
Who were the headliners? It was Rage,
Frank Ocean, and Travis Scott.
Oh,
yeah, that one's gonna be fucking good, bro.
Bro,
I've been wanting to watch Travis Scott. I watched him in 2015. That's the last time I saw him. 2015.
That's Luis's favorite artist, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite artist.
And Frank Ocean.
Crazy creative.
I love Frank Ocean.
He grew up on Frank Ocean.
Just the hype, bro. He's like his concert
footage.
Yeah,
puts on a show. Crazy, dude. I've seen him at a few shows. One of the best ones was when he opened for Kendrick on the Damn tour.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
He was the opener for that.
Yeah, that was a crazy show.
That's crazy. I saw him. The only time I seen him, 2015 in Arizona, because I went to see a Kanye concert. He was doing a festival out there, and Travis Scott opened for Kanye. Well, he didn't open; it was a part of a festival.
Yeah.
But he was the one right before him, and he had just dropped the Rodeo. So that shit was crazy. Like I'm like, damn, this was hard.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was gonna blow up to be that big, but he was super dope, like live. And he had the song Antidote at the time, so that was the only song like I kind of knew. And then Mamacita and like all those 90210 from that album, like fire. That album's fire.
It's all energy, dude.
Yeah,
that's what I respect about him. It's all energy. Like you can be down and.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. You know? So, Frank Ocean. I've never been a big fan, to be honest. I know he's like super well respected. I just don't. Yeah. Not for me that much.
You just gotta kind of be into that kind of music. I guess it's a little more, bit more mellow.
It's a melancholy for sure.
Right.
Like,
right. He can rap too. It's just lately it's just been more mellow, and I guess that's where his state of mind is right now. So.
Oh, what'd you guys think of that Kid Cudi album, the newest one that came out with?
I thought it was good, dude.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
it was alright.
Man to the Moon.
I like
what about the
Man on the Moon?
What about the J. Cole album? I haven't listened to it.
No,
it's classic.
I thought it was good, dude.
Instant classic.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
I feel the same way because like I'm a big J. Cole fan.
I love all the other projects.
But
so were you a little bit more disappointed by it?
I feel like it was gonna be better.
As a big fan.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be better.
Okay.
I thought
maybe it's gonna grow on me. I've only listened to it like twice. So
I've only listened to a couple tracks, and I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try.
I gotta listen. I haven't given it enough time. So to be fair,
I'm not gonna lie. It took me like 2 or 3 listens to say it was good. Like the first time, I was like, eh.
I think you need to listen.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Like
Apply
lyrically.
Pressure is one of my favorite songs on there. It starts with like a Dame Lillard interview.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite ones.
That one's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
He stepped out of all right, check it out. He stepped out of his comfort zone and brought artists into his album.
Mm-hmm.
He's never done that before. He's always been a solo artist.
Yeah.
So to be collaborating, of course, you're gonna have different flavors in it now. Like so, yeah, he's gonna have to appeal to the mass, to sort of say, because you have a different audience like Lil Baby or
21 Savage.
21 Savage. So you have to see that other people are listening, not just J. Cole fans, but other people. So
that's one thing I like about him too, though. Before, when he was like on his own, no features, no collabs, just saw him. I thought it was cool, like his persona.
But the growth in an artist like that, to realize that like he's on top and he has to feed the rest of these. He's got to influence the rest of these rappers so that the culture of rap and hip hop stays alive and doesn't turn into mumble rap like we had for a long time.
Yeah,
I think that was the biggest point to take out of him dropping this album, is that it was kind of needed. I feel like nobody's really rapping like that anymore nowadays, right? And I just feel like that was needed in this. The one that I'm most excited about is like Kendrick dropping, dude. I'm waiting.
When the fuck is that for dropping?
Waiting.
Yes.
I heard this year. Supposedly TD said that he's gonna drop this year. So
I'm waiting for Rene's album.
Man. I know. Shout out what Drumpet 7 just dropped. Go listen.
You make your own music too?
I do make my own music, man. I just haven't for a while. I was making my own music when I was like working with a lot of hip hop artists for a while.
Yeah.
But out here, ever since coming out here, I've just been more concentrated on like the DJ aspect and like really events. Like taking the reign on that. Yeah. And really just getting my name out there, you know, because like now I have a couple residencies at like some well-known places like Moxie and Agua Caliente. And like, it's been like the little things that have been leading up to it, you know, and it's just how David was saying, last year was a hell of a fucking year. And it taught me a lot of stuff about myself. So I just was just like, man, I got to keep it moving and I got to keep it going. Because I guess I was, for the first half of 2020, I was like a little stagnant. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just like, you know, what direction do I want to go, bro? I was like, I'm going to stream. I'm going to do this. And I did it for a while. But I think now I just found my mojo back with DJing. Because for a while before that, I didn't take time off, but it was a transition of like, doing the hip hop thing for so long, touring and doing that, and being somebody's DJ, kind of being behind, and not to take anything away from the artists that I worked with, because bro, some of those experiences were some of the best experiences. I got to meet people like DMX and 2 Chainz and things like that. Probably will never be able to do again, you know. But it was like coming from the back and then going to like the front and being like, I need to concentrate on disco like the artist. And then the podcasts gave me a completely different light, hanging out with these guys and their creative ways, how it is, how David. There's a very few people that get to like break through to me, bro. And David is that person that like pushes me creative sometimes, where sometimes he'll see it in my face. Like, I'll just be like, bro, I can't fucking do that. And he'll be like, no, but if you do it like this and like this. But after that session, and we start talking about something else, this just happened recently too. After that session, I'm just like, you know what, Dark? I know exactly what the fuck I'm going to, you know? And I feel like you need people like that around you, you know? And Luis too. Luis, Ricky, Nano, there's a couple key people that I just talk to frequently. And I might not talk to Luis like every single day, but when he gives me certain input, I take that. Same with Nano. Same with Ricky. Ricky, I see him maybe once every 2 weeks when we're getting a haircut. But you just need those people to kind of like feed your thing. Because also if like your ego is too big and it's like, I know exactly what I'm fucking doing, you're never going to get fucking nowhere and you're never going to grow. So yeah, shout out to these guys, man, for real. It's pushing my fucking limits for a good reason.
I just think that we create certain boundaries or limitations that we're scared to go past.
Right.
But like, what is like, what do you, like, how does he help you?
All right,
like,
so,
as an example.
So last week,
I'm just curious.
he came over. It was on my birthday. I wanted to drop like a video mix. For the first time I wanted to do, I'd seen a DJ that I follow. This is well known in like Spain or some shit. And he did like a 20-minute video mix and he posted it on Instagram. And my thing was like, Luis kind of inspired me because of the whole putting the selected series on Instagram, like those interviews, like how we did it live and it stayed there, you know? So I kind of thought like, fuck, how can I do this on Instagram where people they could go to my SoundCloud, but at the same time say here. So I thought of a video mix, but I was like sitting there contemplating. I was going to do like a classic reggaeton mix. It was going to be like 20 minutes long. And David came, I was in a rut, dude. And I was like, he's like, what's up, bro? What you doing? I was like, dude, I'm just sitting here. I'm like stressed out about this mix. And he's like, well, why are you boxing yourself in? And then he started giving me like ideas like, well, why don't you scratch this and put like a hip hop beat over this or that? And I was frustrated. I was like, no, I can't do that, bro. Like, there's no way I could fucking do that.
Plus, you can also mention like how some songs, the originals, or you can't.
It's like BPM wise, you know, like just impossible, bro. So. And all that plus the scratching, because I took him to NAMM a couple years ago, and he fucking fell in love with like the DJ culture.
So my expectation of Rene,
yes.
Like you got fucking the juggernauts, right? The fucking we saw the dopest DJs, the best DJs in the world showed up to NAMM, and I was like, Rene, do that shit.
Yeah,
and he's like, bro, you kidding me? You get what I mean? Like these are the best DJs in the world.
What's NAMM?
So
Vietnam.
NAMM.
So National Association of
Music something.
All the biggest people go at the Anaheim Convention
Oh, it's like a
Center.
convention.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's
Yeah, it was-
Yeah, I
every-
didn't know.
It blew me away. So then now I'm like, Rene, all the shit that these guys can do, you can do. No, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So my expectation is like, why not?
Right.
Yeah, that's
right,
dope.
Right.
And he says like all the shit and stuff, but I'm like, okay, well, you keep limiting yourself, like
Right.
you're creating these things that don't exist.
Right.
So I kept throwing ideas. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I'm like irritating him.
Yes.
Because you're seeing it from you don't know maybe he's thinking about like
Right.
the technical level.
Yeah,
like,
and
I can't do this shit technically, but
Right.
you're seeing it as like, you could do it too, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
fucking do it. Like,
exactly.
Yes, and it's true because sometimes as artists we box ourselves in. Even when he's like doing a design, or whatever the case may be, like sometimes we box ourselves in. And after that conversation, bro, an hour passed. We started talking about other shit, UFOs, government, all this shit. But after he was about to leave, yeah, dude, of course, But after I was like, bro, I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and I did an 8-minute mix, a solid boom, boom, boom. And honestly, it's probably one of the most popular mixes on my Instagram because I do these little mini mixes. It's 2-minute, 1-minute mixes. But that one got, as an IGTV video, got a lot of views for like my page of stuff, not compared to stuff. But if he wouldn't have pushed me, bro, I wouldn't have never even tried to push myself out of that limit. So,
but see, the crazy thing, the whole thing stemmed from like having that conversation with Ricky, having that conversation with Luis, having that conversation with my brother. These key people that you speak about also have the same frame of mind. So when you kind of talk to all these people and then you're like, wait, they all have the same thing. There's a commonality where we have the same like ear, like to music.
Yeah, they might
stuff.
not be DJs, but they have the love for music. And just even talking about it, it's like we might not even talk about DJ stuff. I don't think we've really talked about DJ stuff before, but I think his influence on music, Nano's, Ricky's, a couple other people that are not named, but it's the girls.
But it's not also the music too, right? It's like
no,
the
that's what I'm
culture.
saying. I think it's just everything that kind of inspires me, with certain people, But yeah.
What do you want to be? What do you want to like take the music game? Do you want to like perform at festivals? Do you want to be producing for top artists? Like, what's like your
honestly like like milestone for me would to do like the campgrounds with like Alpha or something like that,
Yeah,
that would be a dream because I mean Alpha is a friend, I'm not that far away from getting there. It's just a matter of getting that attention. And right now, that's my thing is I'm just trying to shake the fucking can to get people to fucking understand.
To
like,
notice,
hey, I'm here.
You're doing shit,
and I'm good. And I'm a little bit different than a lot of other people because of I feel not to, sound cocky, but with my versatility, bro, I could literally do any kind of music and be good at mixing it and doing that, and I think I take pride in that. And I just want people to see that. And once they see that, I feel like the demographic that I've been looking for or that I want to be a part of me it'll find me, because that's the thing. It's like, I think that's what we're all looking for is to find that demographic. Like you're saying,
you just got to
get us.
Your core,
keep pumping the content, bro. And do you guys use like TikTok? Do you use TikTok?
I do, but it's like I can't figure out the damn
bro. You gotta
just
do because I've seen some DJs that blow. All they do is like top 10 songs of like. I've seen some videos that get like millions of views, like top 10 songs of class of 2013, and they'll play like the best songs from 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, I remember this shit on the comments, bro. And that shit just pushed up.
Top, give me a
hey,
that's a good idea.
That's
bro.
like you could make 20 videos, class of 2000, 2001, 2002. Just that. Then you could do like top 10 songs of the summer, top 10 songs of TikTok in 2019. Who remembers these songs trending? Or you know what I mean? Like there's so much. Top 10 movie songs.
See, now you're one of the people that's going to inspire me, bro.
Because I see that's why it's working for other DJs, and it's kind of like a way for you to like even practice with those songs. You never know.
Some of the ones I see a lot are like the samples, like the sample, the original version versus like
you can do that too.
Get on that.
Those are dope. Yeah, I know.
Like, make some pillars of content.
My manager, bro, I swear.
No, but can you just see like the passion, like when he's talking, his mindset?
Thank you.
That's what like fuels all of us. Dude.
I'd
But
love
it's not him
to-
spurring that out. It's him spurring that out.
right.
It'll be like me spurring that out. So it's like
you should make some TikToks about the same shit you just told us about. Like, oh, I feel like a specific genre or this song. On the TikTok, you could talk about it, and then you show a sample of how you mixed it.
Right.
I've been telling this fool.
You'll be making like
he did say that something last week. Like how to do
because
to do
you
it.
want to be like you're saying you're trying to more opportunities and more people to discover you. But that's what it is, TikTok, bro. Like it's a music app, and if you're an artist, especially for music, that's number one. There's so many artists that have blown up on TikTok just because they just been posting
their song,
and people hate on TikTok, but it's like it's just like that's where people are, bro. And that's and those kids, they're just gonna like help you get to the next level because that's like they consume your content and it pushes in the algorithm. Then somebody might like, I'm looking for a DJ, and then you might get hired from there. You might get the opportunity. Oh, I saw some guy doing this like cool thing. You get invited to influencer party. Like you never know, bro. You just
yeah, no. One of the things that Agua Caliente mentioned was like those little minute videos that I did. Like I see you do those minute videos and blah blah. So I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, damn, I didn't even think these videos were fucking working like that, you know. So, but for them to like point that out was, but yeah, I need to do more stuff on TikTok because
just push the content.
That's the thing about you, bro. You stay active during quarantine.
Stories, bro.
That's what I wanted to say.
He checked every box, like the Twitch, the lives, the all that. He was on it, putting out content,
and also staying physically active. Like I want to tip my hat to you and taking that responsibility for your mental health and your physical health. Shout out to Jaime from 111, the Goya team. You know, like they're fucking awesome, and I saw a rebirth of you, and I really appreciate that from them. Like taking you in and like you're part of their family. Like it's beautiful to see.
They're good people, man. Jaime's a good man.
And like for instance, check it out. You had your birthday last week, and you had people from your gym family show up. You know, everybody really cool. That was there usually goes to one of your one of those classes. So it's like, you know, it's cool. And you guys, they all shut up before 10 o'clock. Like who does that to go out to the club?
And I think that's why we got so drunk, dude. Because everybody was there so damn early, bro. Man. But see, that's what I'm saying though, man. It's like this is the kind of people like you need around you. Who's like people that are positive, people that are like grateful for you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have that, I didn't have a lot of that before, you know. So moving back to the desert, all that kind of just brought out my creativity and just like I said, these guys they'll be like shooting ideas to each other about the podcast. Boom, 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 boom. How David said, I'm a little passive because I'm not going to speak on it because their ideas are good enough. And when I feel like I need to put my creative like touch to it, then I'll tell them. And they know it's like, yeah, like, bro, that's fucking dope. Because sometimes I'll be like Rene ? I'll be like, bro, everything you guys just said, yes, you know. So I let them just take the reins, bro. And I'm just, you know, because before it was just I was just a sound engineer, you know. I was chilling and not, you know. And then it was like,
do you guys get like people recognize you from the podcast, like any events and shit? Like, oh, I saw you guys do podcasts and
yeah, that's how it happened.
I can attest to some of that question. I can answer that. I think out of the three of us, I think I'm more of like a social networker.
Right.
But like
this is our outreach specialist right here.
I just love people's stories, people's walk, and I kind of get a glimpse, and I'll go and I'll talk to anybody that was willing to talk to. And I don't just bring people onto the podcast just out of anything. Like I get people asking me like, hey, let me jump on your podcast, hey, like on the DMs and stuff. It's like my genuine question, and I'll answer it to anybody that wants to listen. And it's a perfect platform. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I can tell them like, I love to build a relationship. Show me what you have. Be consistent. If you have a YouTube page, if you have an Instagram page, Facebook page, if you have a website, if you have a product, like let me see what you're doing. Do you have an event coming? I'll go to it. Send me your work, whatever. Let me talk to you. I want to know you. Sometimes people get the impression that things are manufactured. They're usually built organic. Like I reached out to you, and I made that effort to like constantly keep track of what you're doing so that it's more selective. That's what the name came from. Yeah. You know, it's more of like you make the effort, I'll make the effort. Now, you know, we're not making a cent out of it. Yeah. We're doing it out of passion. So our time is invested because we want to invest. So reaching out, coming out here to Indio is like, this is great, bro. Like this is worth my time.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I get DMs all day long. Hey, I should be on your podcast, or you should put me on, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Yeah. I don't shy away from anybody, but show me what you got.
Are you doing something?
Yeah. That's what are you doing?
Right.
How are you influencing your community? How's your business? Is your business a positive business? All those things go into it. Are you hustling like Rene? Are you as creative as Luis? Are you as community driven as Angel? You know what I mean? Like all those things are golden, bro. I'm not just doing this or we're not just doing this just to do it. Pete is awesome, like Luis's brother. He's been a great mentor toward us. He's taken us under his wing and like shown us a lot of things. So why not do the same for others, you know? He was our second episode, but pretty much our first episode and we just visited with Pete and he's growing like exponentially. Now they're doing a non-profit organization. That's what I wanted. Those are the things that I wanted, you know? And Rene and Luis fuck with it. So I'm like, yes, thank you. And I don't stop. Like I keep doing it. Like I'm gonna have a baby soon, and in a couple months. So these guys are gonna step up to the plate, and we'll see. I'll take the back seat, and I'll just ride along for the ride, you know. But they know what's up, and I respect their judgment. I respect their grind. They're leaders in their own regard, you know. And I'm a follower. Like I learned from Luis, I learned to be a follower. He showed me to be a team player. Rene has shown me to be a team for sure, because I came from a world of playing soccer and stuff, yeah, being a team player, but I also came from an athletic background as like a track athlete.
So it was the fastest foot in the valley for a while.
So if I fucked up, so for instance, if I fucked up the race, it was on me. I can blame myself. I can blame the fact that I didn't train enough, or that I was not prepared, or didn't stretch, or whatever, or I just wasn't fast enough. So I love that because I hated letting my team down. I hated not coming through for them. I hated playing basketball with Luis and losing. Because no, for instance, if I was on his team, he's expecting more of me, right? I hated playing defense for Rene and him getting scored, because that was not my fault, and that weight was too much. Like even now, like being a part of this podcast, it's tough because like some of the things, a lot of the visuals that you see, most of the visuals that you see, they're mine, and I gotta have a certain level of there's a standard. And you said it yourself, you're like, this shit is professional. I mean, I went to school for this, so I have to set a standard for myself. Yeah, bro. Like I don't know if I could, I don't want to keep going on this, but I'm just very proud of what we've accomplished in the last 2 years, and I think it's like the sky's the limit. Like even we keep going.
We take a lot of pride, dude, in being innovative, being ahead of the game, and we do that because we owe it to our guests that we have on. And we want to be the top echelon podcast that they come on. So for that reason as well, we want to be out there thinking of new ways. We want to give them. We want to put them under a bigger scope. If we do one thing with them one way, we'll bring them back, and it'll be like to make them. How can we put them bigger than what we did the first time? So it's half about the podcast itself, selected series, and the other half is our guests. Man, we owe it to them.
And I'll give you this. Like, check it out. Think about, and I'll just do a little quick shout out to everybody that's been on the podcast. They're all successful in their own way. I don't know if it's because they had to sit on the mic and put themselves in a position where they have to live up to what they're saying on the mic, but they're all successful. You got Marcel with this crepe.
They've all leveled up. Dude.
Yeah, you got
every single one of them.
Everybody.
You have your studio.
Yeah. You have a studio.
Bro,
I mean, like that's just wild.
It's like so dope.
There's this saying that the cream always rises. The best always rises. And I'm not saying we're the best, but I'm saying like shit is happening and like we're still here. There's people that we fucked with that are still here. You got Daniel doing an event coming up, with Bandcamp. We just interviewed Bandcamp.
Yeah, I'm DJing that.
Like Disco's DJing it.
You know what I mean? Like what? What are we talking about? Like the frequency's there.
What do you think is ways to monetize? Have you guys looked at ways to monetize your podcast?
I just had a conversation I just had like a 2-hour interview yesterday after my interview. Just sat down and chopped it up, just recorded it. And it kind of stopped me in my tracks. And the homie said, when you do something that you love, and I've heard this shit all the time, but it just kind of resonated with me. When you do something that you love, like fuck the money, like the shit will come. I just had a direct message on Instagram from like a very well-known company out here in the desert, and all they said was, we want to do something with you guys. And this guy, they got that little blue check, they got this like big name. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just sitting on it on red. I tapped into it, but I didn't open it. And that might come with some money. That might come with a bigger exposure, a bigger platform. And maybe, sometimes you're in a position where you might be scared to leap, right? To jump off the cliff and say, oh, like, because once you start making money, then you start realizing, like, can I do this shit for a living? Can I leave my 9 to 5? And we've had this conversation before, right?
Yeah,
Luis?
that was one of the first things we talked about when we had this idea. Because one of the first questions is, will it be worth it? You know, will we make money off of it? And then I think we kind of left that topic alone
because it wasn't what's fueling us.
Why are we really doing it? Right.
Exactly.
That was our question.
Yeah, if you were doing it for money, you would have stopped fucking a year ago.
Like our first,
you're buying
our first question wasn't, hey, let's make money. What should we do? Oh, let's start a podcast, right? It was like, no, it came organically. Let's start a podcast. Let's do it with entrepreneurs and, you know, people making moves. And then it was like, okay, how do you make money? And we talked about it, and yeah, we thought of ideas. We know how. We know how we can do it. Your question was, how are we looking to monetize? There's different ways. You do ads, or you put people's product on your podcast, right? There's
you charge
100 different ways
to be on the podcast.
We can market for people. Like there's 100 different ways, but we kind of went away from that, and then we solely focused on what the purpose of it is. And then like we know that if we keep this up, the opportunity will come. And then look, he got it, and now we're sitting on it, and now we have to decide, okay, how do we move forward with it?
Yeah, do we want to look? Honestly, we don't want to be. You can sell out. You can easily be like, oh, fuck it, I'll take the money and run. Yeah. And then what? Now you have no leg to stand on. Our objective is to grow with the community. I've had people also that have YouTube videos and have different platforms themselves reach out to me. And that would actually put us in a position where we would have to give up creative, you know, that creative drive. The person would take over. The person would bring us clients. The person would give us, it wouldn't be selective anymore. Now we're just going out there putting people on for money. No, I want my community to grow. Like, all right, LA's coming, regardless if you like it or not. The people from LA, for people from other places, it's cheap out here for them, like in that regard, you know? So they're going to come out here with their fat ass wallets and take over. So from day one, we wanted to grow roots in the desert so that we're a staple. So when they say the desert, they say also selected series. Oh, with selected series, they're stupid because they didn't make money. Yeah, but we helped out so many people within our community. Fine, who cares? You know, it's not about that. We're rich in so many other ways. We have great friendships. Yep. We have great people that like respect us, great people that will open doors for us. And we don't have to necessarily go and grab every single opportunity because they're there. We're not greedy. You can see our projection is to eventually do that. But in 2 years, we haven't touched everything that we've made through our hats, our shirts, we put it back into it. That's how we got our mics. That's how we got our everything with our studio. Everything that's in our studio is from the people that supported us. We never took that money and bought ourselves anything. We reinvested it. And we could have done that often, but we don't need more than what we have. Like, we're trying to create a certain image for people so that we're not flashy. We wear the clothes that the people that we interview, you know? Yeah. We don't, this is secondhand shirt. You know, fiction. we don't do that. Like we know that we are conscious about the fact that we are role models, good or bad role model. That's just the bottom line, dude.
And I think the biggest thing, I think it goes unsaid, is we want to leave, like, obviously time so big, but even just for our little time, we want to leave that timestamp of like who we were. I think that's what it's important to me. Like, I know I can speak for them, is like,
well, my daughter's gonna look at it and say, it's like, well, my dad was.
We were a part of history in that time, you know, because we're all gonna die eventually, and you know, we're gonna be forgotten. But it's like, what are you doing for your community that's gonna leave that stamp, you know, for forever, you know? So that's comment on
and
that.
then a lot of businesses have embraced us, and I think we're overwhelmed with the support and like the just like people wanting to be a part of it. We don't have the time. We don't have and we're doing it as fast as we can with what we have. If we were just to say, fuck it, you guys are ready to gamble on ourselves, and we could probably potentially do it, struggle, you know, for about a year, but make it happen. Sure. Or fucking live in the street eventually because we just gamble too hard. But we have that in the back of our, we have that in our pocket, ready to, if we ever were able to get that opportunity, we'd pull the trigger. But as of now, I respect his hustle, his grind, the way he's doing things. Same thing with him. I don't have my expectations for myself are my own. They're not for them. I just work with. And that's beautiful because it's like symbiotic. Like I'm not trying to be him, and they're not trying to be me, which is cool because like it's just a constant like growth. And eventually, because I've had that conversation, I'm like, Luis, don't be scared. Like make that leap, like leave your job and like let's do it. But it doesn't make sense. Why would you do that?
Right.
It's like no, let's be smart about it.
Yeah. Make the right decision.
Like if I were to tell you like, hey, stop doing the OC tile, you'd be like, you're dumb. Like, dude, this is like no, this is what feeds my family. Eventually, this will be something like your hustle, your passion will eventually be your thing, and I know it will. I know your name will be synonymous with the Indio, Coachella, Palm Springs, all that. Like your name will continue to echo around here if you keep doing what you're doing. Like, bro, like, and you can tell like you're about family. Like the other day, I saw a video of you feeding like all your friends. Your buddy was going he was like leaving town, right?
Yeah, he was going to Missouri or which one?
Right. And you were cooking. Like,
yeah,
Chef or ID.
Make carnitas en la casa.
Bro, this fool gets down.
You get down, dog?
I can make carnitas en la casa, bro. Straight from Michoacán.
Yeah, no. So
I'm all about community. The same thing. It's like I don't do this shit for the money. I've invested so much money and time. Like even going back to like some of the earlier videos, like I think I made maybe like 500 YouTube videos over the last like 6 years. And I haven't made nowhere near to like if I haven't invested that time into like a job or shit like that. Right. But it's not the same though. Like just the interactions and the relationships you build with people. I that's what I take the most out of just creating just relationships, bro. Like that's the best. Like
that's fuel to your soul, bro. That's
unless you do it, it's hard to explain, bro. Yeah. It's like you kind of have to collab. It's like collaborating, but podcasting is different because I've done collaborations where it's just like a YouTube video, but when you collaborate in a podcast, it's just like, fuck, that shit's just game changer.
Because you're getting gems, like you're actually listening to the person, like their walk of life. Like I'd like to ask you, like who? Yeah, exactly. Who? Like you got Mills. What other homies do you have that are like ready to pop off, or people that you within your own community? Because I'd love to know. Drop some names. Like give us because Mills is killing it right now. You did all his work, his video content. You put him on, bro, like for sure. Like his visuals are legit. Of course, his work speaks for itself. His album is, I think I listened to it over 100 times.
His album's really good. That's the thing is like, because I have other friends that make music, but Mills is just so good because he's like all his lyrics are from the heart. It's like is what he feels, and he wrote what he was struggling with. And I've known this guy. I haven't even known him for that long. Probably like 20. I want to say like 2013 or 14. It's already been like 8 years, but not like I haven't known him since I was like younger, But like he's just so good because before he was making music, he wrote like short stories, like little films, and he wanted to become like a writer or director. He wanted to be something with like movies. And he was always writing like short stories and short films, and like it was always like crazy funny dialogue. And I'm like, damn, this is super creative, like way back then. And then once he started making music and like everything just made sense. And I was like, how can I help him? I know how to make videos. He's a homie. So I was like, let's do something, like what do you want to do? Let's do this. And then we have a music video that we're working on that's going to be involving the community, more like shooting in the desert with a lot of like locations here and try to involve as many people.
What song is that?
The 760.
Yeah, he said that's his favorite song. So I hope it comes out and you guys are able to express what he's feeling.
Yeah, that one's it's cool because it's like even for those music videos and like he doesn't pay me. Like I don't charge him like what I would charge somebody else. Like the first video, the No Angel, I didn't charge him at all. I did it for free, and it was like 4 different days shooting. I did editing for like 8 hours. Like I did all the editing, my equipment, but I did it because I had.
It's gonna pay up, bro.
Yeah,
it pays.
And I don't do it for the money because like if I wasn't in it if I was doing things for the money, I wouldn't do none of this because I would just focus on tile, bro. Like I would focus 24 hours on tile. I wouldn't do no videos. I wouldn't have a studio. I wouldn't do YouTube because the money's in the freaking tile business. Like right now, we don't even. I'm turning down work, bro, because everybody's remodeling. Like you said, people are moving from Orange County, from fucking LA, buying homes, and then they're selling their $1 million home in LA, buying a $400,000 home here and investing it and then remodeling it. Like there's so much fucking work, and for me it's like the passion's like the video, and that's just like I do that shit because I like it. And I do it also not just like, oh, let me just make videos. Ever since I started YouTube, it was always like, how can I, like my first videos were like first it was book reviews, so I was trying to like review books that I was reading. Then it was always with my friends too. and then it turned into like community-based videos and then Coachella videos. And I do it more of a perspective, how can I help people? And that's always been my thing, and trying to involve as many people as I can. Whatever.
That's definitely why I reached out to you though from the get go, because I was this guy's about it.
I want to go back to that topic that you were just on right now about working for free or working for money. You just recently interviewed the director or the guy that filmed Coachella.
Yeah, so he's been the director at every Coachella, like
Thomas, what was his name?
Drew Thomas. Andrew Thomas, I think is his full name. He began working for free.
Yes, I was just listening. I was just watching that, and one of his things was working for free or working for money. And that opportunity for Coachella in 1999 had came up, and he almost didn't take it.
Yeah,
and then he took it, changed his life. So tell us about that and how he was working for free. Before
so that. He was I think he was already he was involved in the film industry, and Paul Tollett, the guy from Golden Voice, reached out to him because they had an office in LA. They used to do a lot of grunge 90s shows like Pearl Jam.
Right.
They threw all those shows in LA, like little house shows and stuff. That was what Golden Voice was, that's what they were doing. And then last minute they hit him up like, hey, you want to come to a meeting to their office in Sunset Boulevard or whatever. They went in, they told them oh, we're shooting a music festival. We just need somebody to film. We don't have anybody. We need recording the artists and different stages and stuff. And he's like, okay, cool. And then what's the pay and shit? And they're like, we don't have a budget. Our budget was to buy the film because back then it was all tapes. So there was no digital. So you actually had to buy a film. So their budget was that. So it's basically work for free. But it's hey, you get to see some amazing bands, and it's in the desert for go hang out, and then he almost turned it down. He's like, oh yeah, well, when's the event? This Friday, literally on a Monday they told him this Friday.
Yeah.
And he kind of took a day to decide, and he decided to go to Coachella. He's like, you know what, I'll go do it, fuck it. And then he went, he filmed it, and then they lost the first Coachella, lost $400,000. They lost money because it wasn't profitable. So 1999 happened. Year 2000, Coachella got canceled because they lost money. Then they came back in 2001 for a one-day event. And ever since then, it's started popping off. But because he won the first time, he got hired to do the 2001. And he was at every single Coachella except 2018 because he was filming an actual movie. He was actually a director of a movie. Yeah. So he was on set. And he was there for every, he was literally the main guy directing all the cameras where everything gets recorded.
He took a risk. He said, damn, they don't know. They don't even know how much they want to pay me yet. I don't know how much they're going to pay me. And he just took that risk.
Yeah.
Insane.
Go, bro. Rene's got a PP. That conversation of work came up too.
Go for it.
Yeah, go.
Let's take a break. Should crank the fan. Crank the fan for a little bit.
I texted you once. I was like, I need to pee.
Is that what?
Oh shit.
That's what's been happening.
He's off texting.
How long?
An hour.
You're still recording? No, don't pause. Easier,
cool.
No, I mean, cool. That's another thing.
You do that in your bio, huh?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to skip around, you don't want to listen to.
Dude, that's genius because
it's time consuming, but
that's good that he's doing that. We always used to want somebody to do that too, even just to write it down, because we'll want to post separate clips on social media, and while we're recording, we don't really remember, or sometimes I'll write it and I'll be like, all right, at 8:30 we said this.
Yeah,
watch an hour.
Yeah, dude, that's what was killing us. Yeah,
that is killing.
So you take notes and then you just paste that on the bio of your YouTube.
It helps.
Yeah. At this time, talked about this, and you could click it on YouTube, and it takes you to that clip. I saw that earlier.
And especially
money
about working. What's your definition of work? What when you hear work, what comes up to your head, Rene? Work, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Something negative.
Yeah.
Something,
something with a boss.
Right. Something that it's work, right?
That's why right now it's so weird for me that obviously I don't have a 9 to 5 no more, and I'm really taking the DJ thing this is what's gonna feed me. That's why it's so weird to tell people oh yeah, I just DJ, I don't work anymore. But no, fuck that. I do work, and honestly, sometimes I'm more tired than I was if I was doing my 9 to 5. So yeah, that's for me. Yeah, it is.
But the word work has a negative.
Yes.
What about there's got to be a word that. Or maybe we can fix that or change that.
It's your job. But even then, it's I think it's
a job has negative connotation too.
It's as a creative, I don't think there is, unless you're a worldwide person, but known. But it's so hard to tell people oh yeah, I just YouTube for a living, or I just DJ for a living.
When someone asks you, what do you do for work, it's like a status.
Right.
Like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a teacher, or oh, I'm a lawyer.
Right.
You know, like someone says they're a lawyer, you already associate them with like a higher, oh shit, they're fucking
higher
they're
education.
doing some cool shit, you know.
Right.
If you're like, oh, I'm just a construction worker. Oh, he's just a construction worker. Oh, I work at fast food. You know, like you kind of put them in
You're
a box.
labeling yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're labeling people based on their line of work where they're
Right.
making
You're
money.
judging, yeah. They
Instead of
judge.
focusing
Subconsciously too.
But
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess what my real objective is like focusing like, do you love what you do? Like, because if you love what you do, wouldn't that be considered work? You know, or your
No, I think it's the opposite.
job.
Though. It's like people don't associate work with doing something that you love to do. Because, like, for instance, me.
But that's
DJing
work.
is-
You're-
Well, no,
is work,
if you love
but-
if you love what you do for work, then yes, like
Yes.
work in that aspect is a good connotation for you. It's good.
Yeah.
like
that was last,
positive.
last night's conversation for me. Like
Oh,
that's what
okay.
I took from it. I was like, man, like why do we always go negative? Like we're so easy to go negative instead of being like, no, I love what I do. It's my job. Like it's my work.
Right. Right.
You know,
Just
like
the word in general though. Like if I asked you, hey, tomorrow in the morning, do you want to go to work or do you want to work or do you want to have fun? Right, you're gonna pick fun.
Or even saying like, oh, let's go record this podcast, but like we gotta do some work. Like
Yeah.
it's like what?
Yeah,
when it comes
right.
to us and you ask us
What do
that,
you
you know,
mean?
we're gonna
like if this was your
we're gonna
9
like
to
it.
5, like you wouldn't call it work. You'd just be like, I'm a podcaster, right? You wouldn't say I'm gonna go to
I kinda
work.
do call it. I don't call it work, but I consider it work as a manager and just buying and selling
All right,
players. and-
no, it's fun. That's
I
fun.
love doing that.
I think
shit.
it's just FIFA in general. Like if you love FIFA from a kid, it's always gonna.
Rene, give him that backstory of FIFA for you. That
What?
you'll never play FIFA again.
Be. What?
You'll never buy that game again.
Well, he knows why.
Oh, you
we
do?
just talked about it, dude. Spend way too much money, bro.
Mm.
No,
Prob-
but like how much money?
Damn, you have
bro.
it.
You
problem- you have
know,
a-
bro. You know. I mean,
that
much
sounds like you had a
money.
big.
no, bro. I was.
Hey, we had an intervention,
Probably,
bro.
like-
we had him.
It was, I don't
They
know,
got- they got
maybe,
that
what did I say what the number was? I don't know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 within the year I spent on FIFA points, like nothing, bro. Because at the time I had a good job too. So it was just like, fuck it, 100 here, fuck 100 there, 100 there.
Hey.
It's like how everybody's doing with like the cards and stuff now. But it's like the cards after, they're still going to have value. FIFA was done, after 1 year. So yeah, I had the sickest team, but nah, bro, I had to be like, I need to stop. I mean, still play FIFA right now. But like, it's nowhere near like, bro, I haven't, but before I was like, I need to get home and fucking play FIFA. Like that's how bad
You need
it
to get
was.
the fucking the latest every week. There'll be like a new
Yes, the
pack
team
with
of
like
the week,
team of
yes,
the week,
bro.
and you have like special like team of the year
It's-
edition.
They know what they do. EA Sports knows exactly
Oh,
what they
hell yeah.
fucking do. Bro.
I never had the problem with FIFA, but with Madden, bro.
Oh.
I didn't spend thousands, but I did spend hundreds for sure. I would
Yeah.
drop like, oh shit. This is because like you invest so much time and you do all the challenges.
Right.
You get all these players, and then they drop like this fucking sick card that's like a special, like
Yeah.
like you only got like 2 weeks to get in, and you
Yeah.
buy it.
Yeah.
And then
They
you're like,
drop
I'm
specials
gonna
every
spend
week,
David's like,
They'll
I'ma
say-
spend
they'll
20
be like,
bucks.
if you play all 7 days out of the week, you get like a bonus. Like you
Right,
get this.
right,
out of it.
right,
So it
right.
keeps you.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to
bro.
play those like weekly challenges.
Yeah.
No, I've been through it. I've been through them. Nah,
I can't relate.
I've
This
been there with
is like-
NBA,
yeah,
NBA
yeah.
2K. I was doing the same thing. I spent thousands.
that
Yeah.
shit's
Hundreds.
addicting, bro.
But
Yeah, bro.
it gets
Yeah,
you.
It does
Yeah,
get
bro.
to you.
2017 was that year.
I can tell you the day that I stopped playing video games.
Really?
Yeah. My mom told me, hey, ¿qué le vas a decir a tus niños? Que te la pasaste jugando juegos toda tu vida? And I was like, all right, I'm not. I'm going
You
out.
could have
I'm
been a
going
big
out.
time gamer, bro.
I'm gonna go out.
Hey,
You
that's
could have
something
been,
I wanted
your
to
kids
bring
could have
up.
been like, Dad, you're a professional
Damn.
gamer.
Your
Nah.
kid's gonna be like, Dad, you're an idiot. You should have played.
Yo,
I'm a
bro,
millionaire
that
off video games.
You're an
Have you heard
idiot,
of
Dad.
Have you heard of Castro? Castro 1052 or I don't know, bro.
Castro
This was a
GTA.
millionaire. He's like a
Right.
millionaire, bro. Like,
But
on a
I was
fucking
never too
mansion.
good at video games. I was
No, I
just kind of
suck
like mediocre. Like,
You don't
It's
have
at
to
a
be good at
different
video
level now,
games.
dude.
It's about marketing, bro. Like a lot of these YouTubers, they don't. Yeah, there's some badass motherfuckers, but a lot of times it's their personality and staying consistent.
or
Right.
Yeah.
like the stuff they
Right.
say on the mic and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yep.
oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
bro.
I just got
No.
this card, and it could be a
Mhm.
shitty player, but just because they're consistent, you can make a living
Exactly,
off that, bro.
bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather do
It's a whole
this.
show. And it's like for
I'm
me,
addicted
it's
to
too
this.
like I watch a streamer and I still watch him from time to time because it's just like soccer talk with the boys. Like
Right.
that's really what
Right,
it is. Yeah, he's
right.
playing video games, but honestly, he's playing video games half of the time. He's talking about soccer, and, all
The
that
latest
stuff.
news about
Yeah, yeah.
Since we're on that topic about addictions,
What the hell?
we
are?
Yeah. No.
Old and new, old and new.
No, but you started collecting cards and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
or
bro.
that kind of.
Yeah, I got into the hobby. Mostly NBA. the Prism, and just chasing rookies, dude. And I follow these dudes on Pool King. They're called Pool Kings and Mamba Cards, and they go live on IG. And it's just them with the camera focused on all the cards they're pulling, and then all the people viewing pay money, right, to buy a spot in the pack. And then you get randomized, and then however much you pay, whatever, and then they pick a team for you. Yeah, they pick like 3 teams for you, whatever, a sheet of 10 people, 3 teams each. And then if you're lucky, you get a good team, right? So last year it was like if you got the Pelicans, you were good because you're chasing the Zion card. If you get the Grizzlies, you're chasing John Morant. So anyway, I got super into that. And what got me even more into it is I pulled the Zion, dude, a Zion Williamson.
Shit. How much were those going for? I don't know how much cards are going for.
It was an auto. It was an autograph, and it was like the whole thing, right? So I was like, wow. And my first question is, how much can I get for this? And I went to like the card collector shop, and I asked him, I was like, hey, should I get this minted? Is it centered and all that good stuff? And he was like, yeah, dude, it's worth it. But right now, the time it takes is like 6 months.
Jeez.
So I expedited it. I was like, hey, I'll pay the $60 to get it back in 2 months. He was like, it's gonna be worth it. He was like, it's pretty straight, it's pretty centered. You're probably gonna get a 10 gem mint out of it. And it went in, dude, and then it came back 2 months later, and he called me and he was like, dude, your card's here. I was like, what did you get? He's like, a 10.
Oh shit!
I went crazy.
So
and yeah, the whole hobby, dude, it got me. I started my little eBay store.
Do you still have that card?
No, I sold it.
How much you sell it for?
I sold it $2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
I think you should have kept it.
I have other Zions though. I have other rookie ones that I held on to, but that one I sold it. I just want to test the waters, and I was like, let's do it.
Crazy.
The guy that bought it for me, he has it up on sale. He posted it for 8,000 at first. He hasn't sold it yet, and it's down to 5. So I'm like,
okay,
I'm all right. 5 G's, but it's crazy, man. Those 2 G's came and went.
Okay, how many times did you buy spots on that?
Like a handful of times. I bought spots. Man, it's so it's fun.
You're still into it right now?
No, I'm not into it as much. I still have my eBay store open.
Mm-hmm.
Clutch Market 1 on eBay. If anybody's interested, go and check out my inventory.
What's like your top cards right now?
You will find some LeBrons on there, some John Morant rookies. I think I have one of the Zion rookies on there. And yeah, I've made some money off the store, dude. I'll sell. I sold like a Kevin Durant Brooklyn Net Hollow, $90. The cards I post on there are only the ones that I know are gonna make me some money. So I'll make like between $50 and $200 on the cards I post on there. So I'm like, hey, this is cool, man.
And because if you invest like
how much is a spot?
A spot like $120 to 150, depending on the hobby box.
And it's only one card.
So the Zion card.
No. You get put into a randomizer and you get chosen three teams. And yeah, there's a chance that none of the cards for that team get pulled.
Are worth your money.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
worth anything. So you're gambling. Yeah, at that point.
Okay.
Collecting
is gambling, bro.
It was a phase though, dude. It was like the wave that was happening in the hobby. Even for soccer, it was coming back too. It's coming back for UFC now. And then look at Pokemon. That came back. I didn't get back into Pokemon.
I still have my card.
Yeah, bro. That's insane.
I know.
You need to take.
I do need to get graded.
To get graded, but
that's cool.
Just something on the side, bro.
I was
that's a pandemic for.
That's a pandemic
a lot of
for
addictions too when it comes to collecting. So one Funkopops.
Yes.
That's just the Lord of the Rings collection.
Jeez.
That's it.
Oh, for real?
That's all Lord of the Rings.
Wait.
But that's
how many
all
more collections you got?
That's a full collection.
No, that's all I have. That and Game of Thrones, huh?
That's a full-on collection. Like
no, I'm missing a few of them because I stopped collecting. But the ones I try to get more of the Lord of the Rings. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitive. I went to like the YCSs, bro. Like I went to an event that was 5,000 people playing.
Wait, what does that mean? YCS?
YCS is Yu-Gi-Oh Championship Series.
Okay.
So it was a regional. It was regional in Long Beach. It was at the Long Beach Convention Center, and the top. I think it was the top 20 qualified for like the nationals.
Did you have like a custom?
And then for nationals, you qualify for world championships, and you win like $500,000.
He said you have a costume.
$500,000.
Dude, I had boys that
No,
were
but
into...
like you have to be recognized, right?
No, I didn't dress up. Huh?
Oh no.
No.
Just streetwear.
Just streetwear, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to like be recognized. Like you would have, dude. Why'd you stop? You could have been like.
I could have, yeah. I should have been a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber. There's Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers, bro, with like 300,000 subscribers. All they do is talk about like the latest news and then there's the latest deck that won fucking this tournament. And then they show you.
There's a wave for everything.
Like, there's new ban list. Like these 3 cards you can no longer use. Like that's all they do. 300,000 fucking subscribers doing the same shit. This was they open packs,
Yeah.
and then they give them out and just that's all.
Right.
For Yu-Gi-Oh, like I was really invested into Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I sold all my fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And at Frankenstein, have you been to Frankenstein?
Yep.
So I sold all my shit at Frankenstein, and the same day I bought a shitload of Funkopops. That's when I transitioned from Yu-Gi-Oh to Funko.
One guilty pleasure to another.
Then I got into Funko like crazy. I used to go to like Target before they opened to try to find the chases and all that shit. So I got into like that big time. And then
the chase
Blu-ray collection. So I have a huge Blu-ray collection as well. Like
you have.
There's like steel books and all kinds of shit. So that's like that's at home. But
what about like for like let's say a Kobe Bryant? What do you call these? A pop?
Funko Pop.
Funko Pop. What about like a Kobe Bryant one? How much would it go for? Are those
it
expensive, or
just
do they have
depends
different?
on if everybody swept them off the market.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
It's about the rarity.
If it's a chase to get one, then it's gonna be valuable.
Okay.
That Legolas right there on the top right, the bottom right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That one's the most expensive one there. So that one's a 2013 Hobbit movie Legolas. All the other ones came out like the last 2 years, but that one's because it's 7 years old and they only like back then it wasn't as popular. So it's a limited amount. So that one's actually worth probably like $300. That one right there. The other ones are worth like $10-$20, depends where it is. But there's some chases there. I don't know how. I really haven't checked the prices anymore. But no, there was I had a Jon Snow. You guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, sir.
I had a Jon Snow. That was an exclusive. It was called Jon Snow Beyond the Wall, and he had like snow on his shoulders and shit. It was like a variant. The week before Game of Thrones debuted, it was going for like $550. I bought it for like $60. I bought it in a collection from this guy. It was like $60, and it was at $500. I was gonna sell it. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta sell this motherfucker." It's like, and I was like, maybe after Game of Thrones, after the last season, maybe I'll sell it. That's just only going for like $100 right now. I could have sold it for $500, like when it was like the hype.
But you still have it?
I still have it.
Oh, that's.
I still have it, but like it's the problem with Funko is that it's harder to sell them because motherfuckers look at the box.
Yeah, the box has to be in good condition.
They have to be a perfect, like the paper box can't have any dents, and you can't, it's like it's harder to maintain a perfect box than like a card in a nice sleeve. So like it's hard, like, and you won't get people like it has a little dent, and if you ship it out and something happens in the shipping, it's a little bit harder. I ended up just selling everything I had, and I kept the ones I like. So I'm a huge Lord of the Rings, like that's like my number one shit. So I'm a nerd, like Lord of the Rings, everything. And then I have some Game of Thrones, but everything else I kind of got rid of.
I like the Iron Man and the Batman one.
The Iron Man I got it at Swapmeet.
That's dope.
$1.
What?
I just collecting. It's addicting, bro.
He's like jetting up out of the water, huh?
Guilty pleasures for sure.
But now it's like I kind of like don't spend money on dumb shit anymore. Trying to like.
Are you getting serious on us?
Yeah.
No,
I just started like since like 2018. Shit up,
she said that's what I thought,
bro. No, yeah, I've been
that's what I thought.
Thinking about like we're trying to invest more money than spend it on like hobbies and shit. So.
I know you're getting into like
we're talking stocks and
cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been listening. Like I work as a custodian, so I clean toilets and shit. While I'm cleaning toilet, So while I'm cleaning, Noel, shout out to Noel. While I'm cleaning toilets, I'm listening to you talking. I'm like, this is cool, cryptocurrency, and I'm getting a little insight on that kind of stuff. I'm always scared. I'd rather just buy property, but
it's a gamble.
Yeah, it is a gamble.
It's a gamble too. Which crypto would you recommend newbie diving into? Which coin?
Well, number one's always gonna be Bitcoin,
which is super expensive to get into now, right?
Yeah, right now it's like 30,000, but it's you could buy $10 worth of it. You don't have to buy one.
I kind of feel
it's
like
just accumulating over time, right?
You just start buying $10 here, $50 here over the next months, and it starts adding up. You're just buying a percentage of it. So every Bitcoin's divisible by like 1 million satoshis. Yeah. So it's like cents, I guess. And there's only what Bitcoin's cool is that there's only 21 million Bitcoin, and they can make more. So there's 21. It's like the same thing as a collectible. They can make more Charizard, fucking hologram, whatever. That's why they're worth so much because they're so rare. Really? So in the United States alone, there's 26 million millionaires. So that means if every millionaire wanted to buy one Bitcoin, they can't because there's only 21 million. And not to mention around 3 million estimated Bitcoin got lost in the early years because people they thought it was worth nothing because it started worth like pennies, less than a penny.
So they downloaded it in their hard drive and then they stayed there.
They lost the key. They kind of forgot about it. They gave it away. So
how much?
About 3 million Bitcoin are lost forever. And you can claim them because the Bitcoin network, anybody could tap into it with a computer. And that's what makes it like so valuable because it technically can get hacked, but it's almost impossible because
of the blockchain.
The blockchain is accessible to everybody in the world and you could tap in with any computer. So you would need over 51% of all computers in the world to like coordinate an attack to the Bitcoin network. But the computing power that would take, it's more profitable to just mine Bitcoin than actually attack the network. So the way mining works is a block is, if I send you some Bitcoin, it creates a piece into the code, and then these coders have like the software running that validates that code, like, oh yeah, he did send the transaction to him, and then those miners get rewarded. So every 10 minutes, I think right now they give away 12.5 Bitcoin to all the miners in the world. It gets divided into every 10 minutes, 12.5 Bitcoin that's going to everybody. So all the Bitcoin hasn't been mined. The system is programmed to, it's called a halving every 4 years. You get less rewards. So in 3 years, in 2024, you're only going to earn 6.25 Bitcoin. Then 4 years after that, 3 point something. All the way to the last Bitcoin's got to be mined until like 120 years from now. That's into the code and they can't change it. So what's been happening over the last 3 or 4 bull runs, every time there's a halving event, that's when everything goes up, because less rewards means the price goes up.
Right.
So last year was the halving event. So right now Bitcoin shot up to all-time highs. It got to like almost 70,000. No, like 60 something thousand. It dropped down to 30, but compared to last year, still up like 300%. And 2024 is the next halving event. So that's when it's going to take the next step.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is like, it's getting more exposure every cycle, every year, every month. People are buying more Bitcoin.
So as long as you hold on to it, your Bitcoin goes up in value.
Yeah, it's just common sense. Like the supply is staying the same, but the demand is increasing because yesterday the president of El Salvador, he's proposing a bill to add Bitcoin to their reserves, and it's the first country in the world to do that. So El Salvador's adding that shit to their reserves because they're seeing that the value of the dollar is decreasing, and the Salvador, like, I don't know if it's peso, whatever there is, their shit's tied to the US dollar, so it's losing value. So he spoke at a Bitcoin conference. There was 50,000 people at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, like over the weekend. The same conference in 2013, there was 500 people. So in 8 years, how much people are going to be going to these conferences? It's like the generation, like Brian, like his generation, they're coming into the space where like they're gonna start earning money and investing, and crypto's like more mainstream. The generation in 10 years is gonna be even more. So it's like if you get into it now, it's all speculative, like you know what I mean? Like we can't, but it's just the common sense that the supply is never gonna change. Only 21 million, but the percentage of people in the world that are getting into Bitcoin, it's increasing every year. So it's like, it's just almost common sense that's going to go up over time.
And the banks.
Yeah, that could wipe out the banks, right? Eventually.
Yeah, but the banks are jumping on that shit. They're
on that method. Like, because in a bank, your money's just sitting there. It's not accumulating.
The banks are creating the ability for you to buy Bitcoin, right?
So now you could buy
themselves.
You could buy Bitcoin on PayPal, on the Cash App. Venmo's I think Venmo already. I'm not sure if you can. And you have big companies investing money into Bitcoin. You know, like buying it as a cash reserve. So if I have $100 billion just sitting on cash, like if I'm a big company, even if I just put 1% into that Bitcoin and then the rest into other assets, like you're saying, real estate, that's an asset. But Bitcoin, since it started, has been going up on average 200% per year. 200% versus like the S&P 500 goes up like 5 to 10% a year. This is going on average 200%. Even if you include buying it at the top and it drops because of the next halving, because the rewards get cut down, and because more adoption is coming, it just keeps going up. So
but you have to understand, like, you can't go to anywhere right now and buy anything. Like, it's not like you can walk up with like a block of gold and be like, hey, like you can't do a transaction, right?
So you can. They have.
But I'm saying, like, you can't go to Circle K and like
no
buy something.
Well, the thing with Bitcoin, you don't want to use it as cash currency. It's a store of value. Right. So you want your money to either not lose money because inflation is coming. I don't know if you've seen everything gone up.
Yeah.
Lumber's up 3 times its price. Gas is going up. Steel's like
eggs,
up like crazy.
Selling at the market.
Everything's going crazy, bro. So your money's like sitting in your bank account. You're losing money. You're losing purchasing power. And they do have cards already that you could buy stuff based on like your cryptocurrency, but you don't want to spend that. That's just like an investment. Like put in $10-$20 a week if you can. You know, I have I'm putting in $10 daily, like automatically from my account every day, $10 into Bitcoin.
Okay, but to speed up, let's say doomsday comes and the fucking dollar doesn't hold its weight. What happens with your cryptocurrency? Like, now, give me.
So the dollar is backed by nothing right now,
right?
Because they went away from the gold standard. When the dollars first came out, they were backed by gold. So basically, you couldn't carry so much gold because you get robbed or like I'm gonna pay for something, but do I break up the fucking coin? Like what do I do? So the banks were like, oh, give us your gold and we'll give you a paper note that says you gave us this gold. So that was the first like bills. You give me gold and here's 10 bills worth the gold and you could spend that with other people, and eventually started going like that. So in 1971 the USA went away from the gold standard, which means that money was no longer backed by gold. Before, every dollar was backed by like a piece of gold that the federal bank had. So now after 1971, they've just been printing money and there's nothing back. It's just like inflation.
Do you just believe in the paper? That's
yeah. You believe in the U.S. government,
right?
If the dollar collapses, that means that the U.S. government collapses. And I mean, we don't know what that's.
So right now, so they're focusing on maybe trying to bring in like universal income, so to maintain some sort of like normalcy for people to like continue to buy the eggs to go to the gas station. Nobody wants to work. Nobody can pay the workers. It's like, yeah, you're right. That shit is
it's just
picking up speed.
It's just coming down. So you want to buy and protect your wealth, and in the future, nobody knows, but they're saying Bitcoin could be replacing that dollar as a currency. So in the future, if you own a Bitcoin, like 50 years from now, that's gonna be like, oh shit, like this phone's a Bitcoin, like, you know. And since it's divisible by 1 million, you could actually buy and sell shit. And even now you could if you have, let's say, $100,000 in Bitcoin, you could get a loan backed by your $100,000. So if you needed that money, you don't have to sell your Bitcoin. Gotcha. It's kind of like borrowing against like your mortgage and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
lane,
equity.
Sure.
Yeah. So cryptocurrency is more of it's an asset. It's not money. It's more of an asset, like buying real estate. And you want to start owning a little bit of this and getting some exposure to it, because long term this is, and Bitcoin, that's just one. So other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which that's the second most popular one, the one that's worth the second most. That one's one I have most of my money in. So I don't have all my money in Bitcoin, I have most of it in Ethereum. And this one, it has
because it's newer and you can buy more of it.
It's more practical. So Bitcoin doesn't really do much besides like it's pretty much unhackable and a store of value. Like there's only 21 million, you own one or you own whatever. Over the next 100 years, that's just gonna be worth a shitload of money in the future. Or if it replaces money, you own fucking 1 million of those Satoshis, you know? But Ethereum, a lot of other coins are based on the Ethereum network, and NFTs are run on Ethereum. Then there's also smart contracts, which is one of the biggest things with Ethereum. So basically, if I want to sell you my house, we got to go through like a bank, and there's like a real estate agent that's in between. They take a percentage in the bank and this and that. Why can't I just sell you my house? Like, let me just sell you my house, but we can't because there's nothing to like, you have to go through the system. Through a smart contract that is written in the code, I could be like, okay, if you give me 7.2 ETH, you'll get the deed to my house, and the contract doesn't validate until the requirements are set. So basically it's gonna skip all the financial institutions, and there's literally nothing you can do because it's written in code. Like you agree to like these terms. And Ethereum, the NFTs section, people are running like these digital non-fungible tokens that run on the Ethereum network. And a lot of the other coins, you could use the Ethereum network to create your own coin. Like right now, I could go make my own coin. You can make the SelectThis series coin. It might not be worth anything. A lot of the coins aren't worth much. It's just like based on hype, and they fucking inflate the price and shit.
So what was the whole thing about the Dogecoin? Like, why was that such a big deal?
So Dogecoin was created as a meme. Like, oh, since people are just making coins because anybody can make a coin, they made it for the Doge meme. And that was created in 2000.
Is that with the dog, right? With that dog face?
Yeah, the dog face. So like someone created as a meme, and it didn't do nothing for the last 7-8 years. It just had like pumps once in a while. And then because of the pandemic and because of Robinhood, because it's one of the cryptocurrencies that's been on Robinhood, people started buying it. And then on TikTok back in last year, like in July, a lot of like TikTokers were posting, hey, there's only, if everybody starts buying Dogecoin and it goes to 1 cent, we're all gonna like make $1 million or whatever. So that shit pumped it. It was like the first pump, and a lot of people got exposure. People like the records for downloads on like Robinhood went up, and because of the pandemic, everyone's kind of getting into it. That was like the first wave, and then the community kept growing. YouTubers started talking about it, more TikTokers, more people in the streets, Reddit, and then Elon Musk. As soon as Elon Musk started like tweeting and retweeting about it, because his exposure is just so crazy, and because he wanted to make fun of crypto, because at the same time Doge was going up, so every time Bitcoin goes up, all the other coins go up because it's the number one. So if Bitcoin goes down, all the coins go down. So because Bitcoin had the halving in 2020 and it was starting to go up again, all the other coins started going up. So when people started investing in Doge, they saw that shit coming up like crazy, which made more people invest into Doge. And then Elon Musk started tweeting it, and then Mark Cuban started tweeting about it, like, oh, you could go to a Mavs game and you could pay in Doge coins to fucking go watch a game. And people were actually doing it, like little by little, just more people just talking about it. Elon Musk was like one of the main ones because he's one of the most polarizing figures, the richest person in the world on paper and shit. So it just created more hype, and then that created more people making content and more people speculating. So it just like builds, and it's like a snowball effect. And it's really worth nothing because that one doesn't have a fixed supply. So the problem with Dogecoin is they keep making more Doge every day and every year. So
people keep buying it.
And people keep buying it. Yeah, there's still people holding on to it. I made some good money on it. Yeah, I bought some. Bro, I would have been rich as fuck right now. But
had you hopped on at like?
I had
13.
I had like $2,000 in it. In January, and I sold it on January 26th.
2,000. But how much had you bought it at?
Shit, it was way less than a cent.
Oh wow!
So, in January 26th, bro, I had like $2,000 in it because I was like, and then it went up like 15% and maybe like $500-600. I'm gonna cash out, fucking $600. Literally 2 days later, it went up like fucking 300%.
Yeah.
And then after that, it dropped down a little bit. And then like by like March or April, that shit went up like fucking like 700-800%. So that initial $2,000 investment, if I would have held on to like May, it would have been like $250,000.
Oh, no.
$2,000 to $250,000. If I would have just held on to it. Like, fuck, bro, I regret that shit so bad. But, I mean, I guess.
You live and you learn, bro.
You live and you learn. So that's what's cool about crypto is that you have these incredible pumps that are crazy, bro. Yeah. Like, that's what people are, besides Bitcoin and those, like, they rise slowly over time because they're so massive. But the other coins, like, you hear about so many different coins because the market cap is so low that it just takes a big pump. They'll go up 100-200% over like a 2-3 week period, and you can make a lot of money, and then it crashes. So.
You're not tempted to buy the dip on Doge right now? It's like in 30 right now or something like that.
Yeah, it's coming down. I think eventually over time, just because of adoption, it'll go to $1. I think it's gonna go to $1. That's what I keep hearing. It's gonna go to $1 eventually, but no, I'm not into it.
Just because it doesn't have a cap.
It doesn't have a cap, and it is like something you have to kind of pay attention to. So I don't have a lot of time to just be on my phone all day, fucking trying to time the trades. Like some people, if you have a lot of time to do that, then that's fine. But for me, it's like I'm investing long term, and then sometimes I do like.
You just let it sit there, huh?
I just let it sit.
Yeah. So these new coins are kind of like penny stocks, like in that movie with
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's like, literally that same shit.
That's what it is.
Wow. And then right now with Reddit, they've been pumping like stocks and they pump coins. Like right now, there's a huge community. The internet's literally beating fucking big investors, bro. Like it's pretty crazy. Like they never.
It just takes the influencers to say like, "Hey, trust me, buy this." You know, we're a community, we're a team.
And there's bots now. Like crazy. So if you go on Reddit, if you ever think about doing some speculation shit, not financial advice to anything we've been saying, because I'm dumb. I'm a dumb ape. But it's like there's bots on Reddit and on Twitter. It tells you which ticker symbols or even cryptocurrencies are talked about most across all the forums on Twitter and Reddit. So you're gonna see which ones are gonna be trending. So usually if you fucking buy the ones that are top trending, it's you have a good chance of, it's gambling too, but you kind of want to see where like the sentiment is. Like if you see this fucking coin and shit, people are like little by little more mentions, more Reddit posts, you kind of see that the community is kind of rallying behind it.
How many coins, like cryptocurrency, would you say that are like, is there a lot?
There's a lot of really good ones. There's a lot of them that have different stuff. So like there's one called Decentraland. It's basically like Minecraft. Like it's an open source world. And you could actually own, there's people that own virtual real estate. Like you could buy a piece inside this land and you own it. It's like your own, and you could build a house on it. And you could buy NFTs and have them displayed in there. It's kind of like Ready Player One, but it's super low graphics. But that's like a coin called.
Why would people want to do that?
Because they think like long-term adoption, more people are going to get into it just for
like virtual reality type stuff, or
virtual reality type stuff. So you go into the game, it's like you're playing Minecraft, but with real money on the line. And
this shit scared Rene.
Oh no,
dude, it's like
yeah, you could buy. People are buying like $50,000 worth of like a piece of virtual real estate, like big time, bro. Like people are Like there's people that are fucking. I'm barely like learning about it, but there's people
The
that are
NFTs,
super into that shit.
like the people that are buying like sports highlights or people that are buying tweets.
People are buying tweets.
You're like,
Are
wait,
you kidding me?
why would you
people
do
are
that?
buying sports
Jack
highlights,
Dorsey's first tweet, which was the first official tweet in Twitter history. He sold it as an NFT, and I sold for like I think $20 million.
Yeah, and someone owns that now. Like that's theirs.
That's retarded.
It's like
future, bro.
you. I didn't really understand it until I kind of grasped the concept. People are trying to just hop on the next wave any way that they can, right? They're trying to be the first one to hop on the next big thing.
It's we're still super early into this, and most of these NFTs and coins are gonna crash.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a few that survive, but as far as NFTs, like there's like some practical stuff that's gonna be happening with it. For example, if you went, I saw some example. I think it was Gary Vee who posted about it or something. But it's like if you went to when Kobe dropped 81 points, and if you had that ticket that you were at the game, that's just worth a lot as a memorabilia. And let's say he was talking to Mark Cuban about like making Mavs tickets NFTs. So if you went to the Mavs game, you can make an NFT that you were at that game. And let's say Luka drops fucking 80 points and shit, and something crazy happens, and you were at that game. The NFT, you could sell it. The same thing. Like, why would you buy a Kobe fucking ticket on eBay, and that shit probably sells for like, I don't know, thousands, like because you were at the Raptors Laker game when he dropped 81
it's like
points.
Normal for us now to buy like an autographed jersey.
Yeah, like why would you buy an autographed jersey for 10 times the price of a regular jersey you buy at the Swapmeet?
I mean, I want to retract my statement. Like, yeah, sure, you love what you love. Like,
it's most of them are gonna
respect it, but
most of them are gonna like 99% of them are gonna fail.
Gonna be dumb,
but if there's gonna be certain ones that, and then the thing about non-fungible is like that logo that you created there. I could just copy and paste it, and I have the logo, but if you make it as an NFT, you own an encryption that you said you're the owner. So it's like, for example, a lot of the most popular example is the Mona Lisa. You know that the real one's in France at the museum. I could have the same painting in my house, but you know that I don't have the real one. No matter what, I don't have the real one. And you're going to have the encryption of that logo, and I could make 100 copies, but we all know that you actually own it, and you have the proof that you own the digital logo.
Okay.
Even if you sell it. You know what I mean? Like,
so it's like also like licensing.
So a lot of people thinking like it's going to be with art and music. An artist could like create a song.
It could be anything then.
Anything. It could be a song, a tweet, anything digital. You could create as an NFT.
Bro, I'm surprised you're not in the NFT.
No, I feel like you guys just opened my mind to do it. I'm about
the possibilities
to take over the world.
No, the possibilities are huge, but 99% of them are gonna fail because there is a bubble. You know, like people are overspending on certain things. Like certain things are gonna be worth a lot, but most
you guys just put me on to.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Gary Vee, he created his own NFT.
Characters, huh?
It's like packs. Like you buy a random pack. It comes with characters, and some of them you might win a trip to go see him perform live, or go to one of his like live fucking things as an NFT.
Seminars.
If you have those are incentives to buy your stuff.
So they're collectibles, and you could sell them. So if you end up pulling the fucking, and he also has one where you get a quarterly Zoom meeting with him and shit. Like one-on-one. Wow. So if you get that one, you could sell it as you could sell your personal NFT to talk to Gary Vee type shit. Like it's all.
So these are like, are they digital packs or are they?
It's digital packs.
So how do you go about doing that?
So
we might do a SelectThis series.
You can. Oh yeah, SelectThis series. And
you could create it on the Ethereum
like,
network. So you create it. There's different. Now there's a bunch of platforms, and there's different ones. So you could run it on Ethereum. You run you mint the NFT through the Ethereum token. That's why Ethereum's like a lot of the NFTs are on Ethereum. But then there's other coins called like Tezos and Cardano and all these coins that are rivals to Ethereum that also run their own NFT. So you could create it on different like platforms, kind of softwares that kind of let you do it.
Oh, so this is how artists are selling their music now.
That's gonna be the future of music. You don't need a record label.
Oh, you guys are putting me on, man.
Yeah,
like, this is so freaking
That's dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's like
even shows, movie, everything's just heading
like
that way.
Actual artists,
so that you don't steal. Like for instance, was it this weekend where a reporter was asking Mayweather like, "Yo, like what is it? What was it on? Like was it
the fight? You're talking about the fight, Showtime?
Not just through Showtime, but was it Showtime that crashed? Because so many people were.
Oh yeah, it was the app.
They were stealing
the stream.
It was the stream, and Mayweather's face kind of shifted. Like, yo, I just lost. Like the reporter basically told him, like, yo, you just lost a lot of money. And Mayweather was like, well, I'm here. I'm a professional. I'm having fun. Give him the show, and the interview was over. Meaning, like, people are just constantly stealing, just as much as people are doing what they're doing. There's people stealing content all all day
all
long.
day. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why it's
the encryption guarantees that you're the owner, even if there's replicas, as long as you have the thing that says. Oh, and another thing is, if I sell you a piece of digital art, the owner of the digital art gets you can mint a percentage even after the resale value. So if I sell it to you, you whatever, and then you end up selling it. Whatever you sell it to the next person, I still get 10%. When he sells it to the next person, I still get 10%. If he said
royalties,
you get royalties
NFT?
endless because it's encrypted. So you're gonna get like a 5% no matter.
And you put that in the initial NFT.
So if you get a fucking Michael Jordan card, the tops isn't getting any rewards after it's been changing hands. But in the NFT world, you can, because it's
passive
encrypted.
income.
It's encrypted. If you create something that people really want, it's a supply and demand. So if you create something that's super dope, people are gonna be wanting, or something super cool and exclusive, it's a passive income. It could be something really dope.
That was my whole approach with the hobby and the cards and posting them on eBay and selling passive income. Every other day I'll sell a card just by waking up in the morning.
And like I said, I don't know
always
much.
making income.
I don't know much
making
about
income.
NFTs, but that's kind of like a gist of it. And so going back to other cryptocurrencies, so some of them you could create these NFTs on their networks. There's other ones like the Decentraland, which is like the virtual world where you could buy land and you could display your NFTs in like your house and shit, and go interact with other people like in forums. It's kind of like an online forum type thing. Then there's other ones. There's one called Engine Token, which is pretty cool. I don't know if Engine's gonna be the one that's gonna change the game, or there might be new ones, but basically they're trying to. It's like computer games where you earn rewards. The same thing with like the problem with FIFA and the problem with once that season's over, all the money you invested, or you play Fortnite for fucking 70 hours and you earn all these like cool like skins and shit. You can't do anything with those. Engine is trying to solve that problem where you have ownership of these items and you could sell it on the market for real money.
Wow.
So now all the money that you spend on FIFA, you could actually sell the cards or like trade them for other shit. Wow. Then you could, so you're not just wasting your money.
And they probably get a percentage of your sales.
Yeah, there's probably something like that. But it's giving the opportunity instead of just wasting your money on all these fucking things that you can't resell. Now you could actually resell them for other items for other games. Kind of like they're testing that stuff out, and they gotta get like licenses and you know what I mean. But that's gonna be one of the things like
it's a market within a market
because right now once a new game comes out,
all that other shit's
you have to start over.
Or Call of Duty, you earn or buy all these guns. You can't sell that gun to the market
because during that year, that value it has a value, right? Like, you know, certain players that I've invested in, it's like however much I said, but if you invested in a okay, say you bought this year, right? There's this really good rookie that came out this year, and you bought the uniforms and everything. And then in 10 years, like 10 new versions of the game came out. That'd be cool if you could still hold on to that what you bought 10 years ago of that rookie, and that's going to be valuable in those 10 years. That card.
Yeah, that's like the potential behind like some of these like coins, and there's all kinds of other ones. There's other called stable coins. So there's stable coins that you earn a percentage for. So the money's not going to go up or down, but you're earning like 12% for having your money in that coin, because those coins need money to run the system. So you're getting rewarded for just literally, it's called staking. So I'm going to lock my money in here for 6 months, and it's a stable coin. So it means it doesn't go up or down. It's based on like tied to the US dollar, for example, or something like that. So some people like to it's called like farming. You're earning rewards, you're earning more tokens that are going to earn you more money without doing anything like passive income type shit. And a lot of people, what they do is, so like I said, Bitcoin goes up every like 3 years, but then it has like 2 years of like where it's negative or like goes down. A lot of people, when it's like you're making a lot of money, you sell all your shit and put it on stable coins, earning that passive income, waiting for Bitcoin to drop, and then you you buy the coins again, and then you ride the next wave up, and then you fucking put on stable coin. It's like people do shit like that. Like I'm barely getting into it. But
dude, that's crazy.
People are making
innovate.
Because I'm thinking of like selling an experience. I'm not. That's it. Like I'm not gonna even go further than that, because people are gonna steal my idea. It's probably already out. It's probably It's probably already out there. But like, man, like going to the movies, virtual reality. I'm focusing on like the whole virtual reality. It's gonna be an infinity of options for you to sit on that fucking couch and
Ready Player One type shit.
Yeah, that's the future right there.
That's literally it.
And what's gonna be?
And I've never seen that movie.
What's gonna be the currency of that?
Huh?
Is the currency going to be US dollar or fucking crypto? That's the thing people don't know. And that's what people are speculating, like all this. So there's another section where
I just got the chills, dude.
if I have $1 million and I need to send it to somebody in fucking in Germany, I have to go through a bank and they charge you like 10% fees and it takes like 12 days for them to clear. Versus if I send it to you through crypto, you get it within like 10 minutes and there's like less than 1% fees and you get it instantly. And people in China can't really transact with people in the US, but you could do it through crypto. You could send shit and transact money. So
take my money, man.
Shit like that.
Is China into crypto right now?
Yeah, China's a big crypto player. But they don't really know how much. They know they have a lot of the miners that are there in China, probably controlled from the government. So that's why it's hard for the U.S. to ban it or other countries, because if you do, then you're giving the power away to China. If you try to ban it here, then China and Russia are gonna fucking take advantage of that, and you don't want to lose that kind of market. So it's not in the best interest of the U.S., even though they don't announce it publicly to do that.
And now that it's set up, like you'd have to get rid of all computers to get rid of the currency. You can't get rid of computers.
No, you can't.
Or not even that.
You could still trade
the internet, right?
Yeah.
Because there's cold wallets, so you could download all your crypto. So there's been hacks that happen to your shit. So you could get hacked technically. If you're in the major exchanges, a lot of times they have protection, so you get your money back. But if you're dabbling, because there's like thousands of coins. If you're into some like obscure shit like that's not backed by anything, and your shit gets hacked, then you can't retrieve it. So what they're trying to do is they have a hot wallet technically is something that's online on the markets and the crypto market. You have your money there. Then there's a cold wallet where you could you connect it. It's like a special like 12 or 24 characters. So it'll be like taco, fucking palm tree, soft, coffee. It's like a 12 phrase. That's your password, and you gotta write it down. Don't ever type it or anything. You write it down. You put it in a vault or in somewhere where you only know where it's at. And if you lose it, you lose it. So you download your coins into this like USB flash drive, so everything gets taken out, but you own it like off the grid.
Is that why the 2 million got lost?
Yeah.
A
lot of people lost it like that, or they lost their keys. You lost your 12 phrase. God. Right? There was like articles of some guy who has like $100 million worth of like Bitcoin, and he's got one try left to try to remember the password, or he loses it all. It gets erased. Yeah, some dude like. Then there's another guy who he has I don't know how many millions of dollars that he threw away. He remembers where he threw away the computer, and he tracked it down like based on the data on the recycling. So it's buried on like a specific like mountain of trash under like millions of fucking pounds of trash over the last like how many years. And he's trying to find a way to try to find that computer because it's worth like $40 million or some shit. But there's no way he's going to get it. But like it's literally there's cases of that around the world where like people fucking threw those shits away. Because I mean, you're talking about 2010, 2011, Bitcoin was worth like less than a penny. Right now it's worth $33,000. So if you had thousands of Bitcoin that someone gave you, you're like, what the fuck is this? 10 years later, that's just worth $100 million, and it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that wraps up our episode. That's fucking
your
insane.
Financial advisor course.
Not financial,
but you just honestly,
you put us on game,
you
bro.
just put for sure,
you put
because
us on game.
Now my wheels are spinning.
No, bro, you to do some research. Like I said, I'm barely learning. Like I've only been learning for the last like 6 months.
I'll let you into my what I did real briefly. But imagine like Luis goes to a concert and he has an inside VIP access and he's wearing a GoPro head and
looking crazy. Yeah.
He's getting paid by a fucking company, right? To go have this experience. All the types of the dopest fucking things. And he has options and he's like sponsored by fucking the dopest fucking companies. Now he can go sell that experience online, sit in your chair, and you go through all the options, the array of the experience that Luis did. Like he went and he met fucking Jay-Z, and now like
you spent a whole day with Jay-Z or something.
So that's kind of shit that I think like people
like
are gonna start.
I mean, we're still so early. We're so early, bro. Yeah. I'm telling you, like. You say you're about to have a kid, like by the time your kid's like 18, 20, this is going to be their world. Like digital currencies, virtual reality, fucking everything online, like the world connected, not just here. We're kind of like America, Western. By the time there's going to be the whole world, like translators are gonna like be able to translate in fucking real time. You're gonna be talking to someone in Russian, but we're gonna be able to understand each other
back and forth.
Like it's gonna be crazy. We don't even know what the world's gonna be, or maybe we could all die from fucking nuclear holocaust.
Who knows? It's crazy because we think of stuff like that, and then COVID happens, right? And it's kind of like, oh wait,
oh shit, we're so
Wait a
fucking
minute.
primitive. Like we can't even leave the
we
house.
could have sworn like 2020 was gonna be the year where I did this, and
Oh
that.
fuck yeah!
But I think that ramped it up more towards the digital, like
Definitely.
It sped everything up.
The
Zoom, the Zoom work from home type of shit. Like
insane. Whoever invested in Zoom, like
like that. That's
that company blew.
I feel like sometimes they did that shit on purpose to accelerate.
Oh yeah, it makes you wonder, right?
Oh,
it makes
like
you
they
wonder.
wanted us to be more digital and detached from the humanity.
You got to look at everybody that made
definitely, bro.
money during COVID. You kind of have to turn that way and
the
say,
U.S. senators.
Oh,
Bro,
yes, bro. This whole thing.
That just demonetized your video right there.
Cut the shit out, Brian. Cut the tape.
For real, though.
Nah.
Let's go and wrap it up, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming to the podcast.
Thank you.
SelectThis series. What do you guys got going on?
sir.
So where do people find you guys online?
Selected Series on Instagram, selected.series. Find us on IG, on YouTube, Selected Series.
What's our link tree?
Just walk around the desert and ask around.
Yep.
Spread the word.
Selected
no.
Series.
You guys-
Selected
you know,
Series
thanks-
to the moon,
Thanks
ladies
for
and
having us,
gentlemen.
bro. For real. Appreciate it, man.
It was a great podcast.
Thanks for your time.
I know it's a little hot. It's because I'm working on getting an AC. Fucking.
Don't worry about it, man.
Nah,
Gucci, man.
Don't trip.
Well,
It's legit.
yeah, and then you guys are always welcome here. And you guys should maybe when they have like a big event, I'll let you guys know. You guys could come and hang out here at the food park.
Thanks,
man.
It gets nice.
Appreciate
I'll show you guys around right now.
For sure.
Sweet.
I don't even know what
Thank
time-
you, bro.
Oh shit.
Later, guys.
Thank you.